Chapter 332. Li-er, I will find you soon. Qin Yu murmured in his heart, closing his eyes. His mind was filled with scenes of him and Li-er together. In particular, when Li-er had shattered space and left, her gaze had been filled with endless attachment and reluctance to part with him. What is the furthest distance in the world? Qin Yu suddenly opened his eyes. He still remembered hearing such a question in the Qianlong continent. He remembered the answer was, "The furthest distance in the world is when I am in front of you but you don't know that I love you." But Qin Yu suddenly had another answer in his heart. The furthest distance in the world should be when two people love each other but can't be together. Qin Yu's heart twitched. When he was in the mortal world, Qin Yu had brothers and relatives by his side. Qin Yu didn't feel so lonely and uncomfortable. But now, in the vast immortal devil and demon world, he was alone. Qin Yu couldn't help but think of Li-er. Huff! Qin Yu suddenly stood up, shook his head, and chopped the air with his palm. The water in the pond beside the pavilion was splashed by the powerful palm. The breeze blew the water on his face, waking him up a lot. Cultivate, I can't be idle, Qin Yu said to himself. Only by not being idle and constantly cultivating bitterly or fighting with others in a battle of wits and courage would he be able to find Li-er, whom he didn't miss, and not be tormented by longing in his heart. I can't wait, I'll stay for 2 more days. After watching the competition with Honshu, I'll leave immediately. Qin Yu clenched his teeth. The next day, on the plains beside the Maple Moon's teleportation array, a large number of experts from the 3 great families of Maple Moon had gathered. The battle for the control of the teleportation array could be considered the biggest event in Maple Moon. Yan family, Lu family, Wang family. The 3 families must fight each other. Yan family against Lu family against Wang family against Yan family. A total of 3 matches, to see which family will win the most. The rule of each match is 2 out of 3 wins. Lu clan will win. Lu clan will win. The disciples of the Lu family roared loudly, their voices shaking the sky and the earth. The disciples of the Yan and Wang families were also roaring madly. It was as if the 3 families wanted to suppress each other in terms of aura. Yan Shua, why are you staring at me? Ming Han asked with a surprised expression. Sitting in the opposite camp, Yan Shua sneered. Lu Ming Han, let's see how long you can be proud of yourself. My brother's death. My Yan family will not let this matter rest. The Jade Sword School will not let this matter rest. Ming Han responded to the threat with an indifferent smile. In the Lu clan's camp, Qin Yu sat on a chair while Han Shu sat beside Qin Yu. Master, which clan do you think will win this time? How confident is our Lu family? Lu Han Shu asked. After all, this kind of competition was a best of 3 competition. It wasn't just about who was the strongest. The Yan family's 2 strongest experts are dead. It would be strange if they won this time. Qin Yu smiled. As long as Ming Han is not a fool, he will be able to take control. Qin Yu scanned with his immortal sense and knew the strength of each side. With Yan Gao's death, the number 1 expert of the 3 great clans of Maple Moon would be Ming Han. Ming Han would win every battle, and the Lu clan had many level 9 immortals. Even the 2nd elder was close to breaking through to the golden immortal stage. In Qin Yu's opinion, the competition was meaningless. A competition was a competition. It was not a battle of life and death. Although both sides used their own moves, the most they could do was to defeat each other. They did not use any killing moves. This kind of competition was very beautiful. One battle could last for hundreds of rounds. The moves were also very beautiful. In the end, the one who injured the other would be considered the winner. The situation was just as Qin Yu had predicted. Lu family versus Wang family. 2 o'clock victory. The 3rd match was not fought. Wang family versus Yan family 1-2 defeat. Wang family lost in such a situation. It was really shameful. Lu family versus Yan family. 2 o'clock victory. The result was no doubt, the Lu family won. Qin Yu's ears were roaring with joy. The Lu family's disciples were all very excited. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, this was the second time they had gained control. Master, the technique used by the Grand Elder to defeat the Yan family's leader was really wonderful. It was very powerful. Han Shu was still immersed in the excitement of the battle. Powerful. Qin Yu smiled indifferently. I would be able to kill him with a simple sword strike. Why should I waste so much energy? Qin Yu had his own comprehension of fighting. Han Shu, I will be leaving tomorrow. Qin Yu suddenly said. Oh, what? Master, what did you say? Han Shu was shocked and stared at Qin Yu. Qin Yu smiled. I stayed in Maple Moon to prepare for my journey to the demon realm. Now I can't waste any more time. I have decided to leave tomorrow. Then this disciple will also go with Master. Han Shu gritted his teeth and said. Han Shu's heart was very reluctant to part with the girl in green, but he also didn't want to leave his master. You are willing to part with the girl you like, said Qin Yu with a smile. Soon after he continued. Han Shu, the journey to the demon realm this time, not only will it be a long journey, there might also be many dangers along the way. It's not safe for you to follow beside me. Furthermore, there's no need for you to always follow me on the path of cultivation. In the future, if you encounter any difficulties, you can directly send me a message through the transmission spiritual pearl. Han Shu was silent for a long time, but he still nodded. Disciple obeys. Qin Yu nodded. I also don't want to say goodbye to Ming Han. Tonight help me say goodbye. At the same time, Qin Yu takes out a spatial ring. I don't know when I'll be able to return after leaving this time. You should bind this spatial ring with your blood as soon as possible. There are also some immortal weapons and elemental holy rock that I left behind inside. An immortal tool-level space ring. Han Shu knew how precious it was. Yes, Master. Although there were many things he wanted to say, he didn't. Times night. Great Elder, Han Shu requests an audience. Outside the hall, Han Shu's voice sounded. Oh, it's Han Shu. Come in. Ming Han's voice came from the direction of the hall. Han Shu immediately stepped into the hall. At the same time, Han Shu also entered the hall from the back room. Ming Han sat down and smiled. Han Shu, have a seat. What brings you here so late at night? After Han Shu sat down, he smiled wryly. My honored teacher said that he will be leaving Amber Moon for the demon realm tomorrow. He sent me here to inform the Great Elder that he will be leaving tomorrow. Ming Han's body trembled and his face paled. Creak! Ming Han waved his hand and closed the door. Ming Han eagerly asked. Han Shu, you said that your Master Qin Yu will leave for the demon realm tomorrow. Are you sure? Han Shu was startled. What is it, Great Elder? Didn't Master ask for a map to the demon realm when he came here? It's already rare for him to stay here for so many years. Are you going to let a master like Master stay in a small place like Amber Moon forever? Han Shu spoke up for Qin Yu. Ming Han also felt that he was too nervous. He chuckled and said, It's nothing. It's just that Mr. Qin Yu said he would leave. It really caught me off guard. Han Shu, can I ask you for a favor? Great Elder, if there's anything, just say it. Han Shu hurriedly said. Han Shu was a little flustered that the Great Elder would ask him for a favor. Ming Han smiled. Your master, Mr. Qin Yu, has shown great kindness to our Lu clan. If we were to let Mr. Qin Yu leave just like that, it would make our Lu clan seem unreasonable. The way I see it, you should go and tell your master to let him stay for a couple more days. I, on the other hand, am preparing a farewell banquet to send Mr. Qin Yu off. Han Shu, what do you think? This? Han Shu hesitated. Isn't it just a farewell banquet? Mr. Qin Yu has stayed in Amber Moon for so many years. A day or two more shouldn't be a big deal. Ming Han hurriedly said with a smile. Han Shu shook his head helplessly. Great Elder, it's not that I don't want to. It's just that Master said he will leave tomorrow morning. I know my master's character. Once he has decided on something, it's very difficult to change his mind. Ming Han frowned. Ming Han, why bother? Suddenly a cold voice sounded. A middle-aged man walked out from the back room. Great Elder. Ming Han immediately bowed. Han Shu saw this scene and was puzzled. Great Elder. The Great Elder of the Lu family addressed this middle-aged man as Great Elder. Who was this mysterious person that suddenly appeared? The middle-aged man snorted. Why are you so long-winded? If this matter is not handled properly, your Lu family will be annihilated. Annihilate the Lu family? Han Shu was shocked. He immediately transmitted his voice to Ming Han. Great Elder, who is this person? Why does he want to annihilate the Lu family? Han Shu was afraid that the middle-aged man would be suspicious. Ming Han looked at Han Shu and said helplessly, Han Shu, I beg you, please allow your master to stay in Amber Moon for one more day. Otherwise, my Lu family will be finished. What's going on? What's going on? Han Shu saw this scene and his heart surged with an answer he didn't want to believe. His family was cooperating with another power to do something unfavorable to his master. Han Shu could easily guess the answer. But he didn't want to believe it. You are Qin Yu's disciple. The middle-aged man looked coldly at Han Shu. Listen carefully. I will give you two options. One is to listen to Ming Han and persuade Qin Yu to stay for one more day. The other path was to rebel against me. But I can tell you I am Wu Bo, a level 8 golden immortal. Your every move is under my watch. Don't even think about using your spiritual sense to send a message. I've already set up a restriction around the hall when I came in. Don't even think about using a messaging spiritual pearl. Because you'll be killed by me the moment you take it. Wu Bo looked coldly at Han Shu. One was a level 8 golden immortal. The other was a mid-Kongming stage cultivator. The difference was like heaven and earth. Your people want to kill my master. Han Shu glared at the level 8 golden immortal in front of him. Yes, you'd better cooperate. I think you already know the gist of the matter. Wu Bo smiled faintly. What a coincidence. If you hadn't come to report tonight, that Qin Yu might have escaped. Han Shu's heart was burning with anger. Seal me. No. You are worried that if I die, my soul jade slip will shatter. My master will know something happened to me and see through your plan, right? Han Shu smiled and licked his lips. Deep in his eyes, there was a faint trace of red. Mark. Wu Bo smiled faintly. He pointed a finger and a surge of immortal elemental energy shot into Han Shu's body, sealing his yuanying. Han Shu couldn't self-destruct even if he wanted to. So now I won't let you die. This way Qin Yu won't know. Wu Bo continued. Boy, you better be sensible. Otherwise, if things go wrong, all of your family's tens of thousands of disciples will die. Han Shu, for the family you must agree. Ming Han said. For the family. Lu Han Shu laughed heartily. Lu Ming Han, you want me to sacrifice my revered teacher for the sake of my family? Lu Han Shu directly addressed Ming Han by his full name. Ming Han was startled. The level 8 golden immortal, Wu Bo, looked on coldly. Han Shu seemed to have gone mad. Family, you tell me, what has the family given me since I was a child? Not a single piece of low-grade elemental spirit stone. Endless mockery, humiliation, and ridicule. Since I was a child, I was the object of humiliation. I couldn't walk in the center of the room. I couldn't even look at people directly. Anyone could order me around. Han Shu's voice was bleak and his eyes were red. You tell me about the family. Do I have a family? What the Lu family gave me was humiliation, humiliation. I was worse than an orphan. I thought my life was over. I almost killed myself at the lake where my mother died. But then my master appeared. He was sincere to me. He transformed my meridians. He didn't look down on me. For me, he stayed in a small place like Amber Moon for 10 years. I was reborn. In these 10 years, no one dared to look down on me. No one dared to disrespect me. Even you, the Great Elder, have to call me Han Shu. Han Shu pointed angrily at Ming Han. His whole face was red. At this moment, even Wu Bo could see that something was wrong. Walking with a straight back, living a carefree life. This has been my dream since I was a child. My master made my dream come true. These 10 years I have been very happy. Han Shu's face was so red it was about to drip water. In this life, I don't ask for anything else. I just want to be able to walk with a straight back. This is my only request. My master made me happy for 10 years. I am satisfied. If there is any regret, it would be her. Han Shu's voice was low and deep. Suddenly, Han Shu looked up at Wu Bo. Are you surprised? Why is my face so red? Let me tell you. This is a poison that only exists in Amber Moon. Unfortunately, you immortals don't understand this poison, but I do. Wu Bo was shocked. He quickly poured his immortal elemental energy into Han Shu's body to stop the poison. But he didn't understand the nature of this poison. It was a poison for ordinary cultivators. After ingesting it, the blood vessels in the brain would burst, and blood would flow out of the 7 orifices. Although Han Shu had yuanying, it was sealed. Once the poison took effect, the blood vessels in his brain would burst, and his soul would not be able to fuse with the yuanying. Naturally, it would dissipate. Wu Bo's only solution was to remove the seal and allow Han Shu's soul to fuse with the yuanying. Unfortunately, Wu Bo didn't dare to remove the seal. If he did, Han Shu would immediately send a message to Qinyu, or self-destruct. Therefore, no matter what, Han Shu must die. Master, these 10 years of self-respect are more satisfying than 100 or 1,000 years of mediocre people. I'm already satisfied that my death was able to let you know the danger you're in. Lu Han Shu's face held a trace of a smile, but the corners of his mouth and nostrils were bleeding profusely. His eyes were bloodshot. In this lifetime, the only regret I have is her. Han Shu's eyes were filled with longing. Love had just begun, but it was already over. Boom! Blood flowed out of the 7 orifices, and Han Shu slowly fell down. At the same time, in Qin Yu's blazing profound ring, Han Shu's soul jade slip also shattered. Chapter 333. This is bad. The level 8 golden immortal Wu Bo's face changed, and he quickly took out his communication spiritual pearl. Martial ancestor, this is bad. That Qin Yu will soon find out about our plan. Please hurry to the Amber Moon Star. If we are late, they will escape. On Red Leaf Star. Yu Qingzi received this message, and his whole person felt like he had been hit in the head with a stick. He cursed. You can't do anything right, but you're good at ruining things. Yu Qingzi had no time to punish that disciple. All he needed to do was to send people out immediately. Me, Brother Qianqi and Xiahua will go first. The level 9 golden immortals will go first, and the level 8 golden immortals will go last. Everyone, hurry to Amber Moon as fast as you can. Yu Qingzi's immortal sense covered the entire Red Leaf Star. All the golden immortals who were involved in this matter heard the order. Yu Qingzi, what's going on? Immortal Lord Qianqi asked. Yu Qingzi was also angry. This matter was carefully ordered by Emperor Yu. If they messed it up, it would be terrible. I'm also not sure what happened to the disciples sent to Amber Moon, but they actually let that Qin Yu know we're going to deal with him. Brother Qianqi, Xiahua, let's go quickly. No matter what, we can't let them escape. Yu Qingzi said. Emperor Yu's orders, how can we go against them? Immortal Lord Xiahua also said. Soon after, the 3 strongest immortal emperors teleported to the teleportation array of Red Leaf Star. In just a few moments, close to 70 level 9 golden immortals and 200 level 8 golden immortals gathered around the teleportation array of Red Leaf Star. However, the teleportation array could only transport 10 people at a time, and there was no direct teleportation array from Red Leaf Star to Amber Moon. To go from Red Leaf Star to Amber Moon, they had to go through another planet. Let's go! Yu Qingzi, Qianqi and Xiahua all entered a teleportation array, and with a flash of light, the 3 immortal lords were teleported away. At the same time, 10 level 9 golden immortals were teleported to another teleportation array. From Red Leaf Star to Amber Moon, there were two paths. Yu Qingzi and the others chose the shorter path. Along the way, the Golden Immortal experts began to continuously teleport. Their destination was the Maple Moon Star, which was not very famous. And on this day, the Maple Moon Star would usher in the most glorious night in its history. Tonight, the number of experts on Amber Moon would surpass all records in history. 3 great immortal emperors, 70 level 9 golden immortals, and 200 level 8 golden immortals. Even level 7 golden immortals were not qualified to participate. Those who went were all experts. Times Kong Lan, Tu Gang, and Tan Meng were waiting respectfully behind Qin Yu, while Qin Yu was looking up at the dark red moon in the sky. The moon of the Maple Moon Star was red, which was indeed very special. Qin Yu didn't want to sleep at night since he was going to leave early the next morning. Suddenly, Qin Yu's face sank. With a flip of his hand, several jade slip fragments appeared in Qin Yu's hand. Han Shu, something happened to Han Shu. Qin Yu's face becomes very unsightly. His eyes are wide open. As he looks at those jade slip fragments in his left hand, which is holding those fragments, trembles non-stop. His immortal sense spread out, covering the entire Lu Feng city. Ever since his soul fused with Lu Xing's tear, Qin Yu's immortal sense had reached a terrifying level. Even a restriction set by a level 8 golden immortal couldn't stop Qin Yu. His immortal sense clearly found Wu Bo and Ming Han, as well as the fallen Han Shu. The air shook, and Qin Yu's body suddenly disappeared. Kong Lan sensed with his mind. In a short moment, he discovered Qin Yu's location. The 3 level 9 Demon Kings also used teleportation and left the White Garden. In the main hall of Ming Han's residence. Right after Lu Han Shu fell to the ground, Wu Bo had just used his transmission spiritual pearl to send out a message when Qin Yu appeared out of thin air in the main hall. Qin Yu directly arrived beside Lu Han Shu and picked him up. Han Shu, Han Shu. Qin Yu called out in vain, but his soul had already dissipated. How could Han Shu answer him? Qin Yu's whole body trembled. Ming Han. Qin Yu stared at Ming Han, his eyes like a vengeful viper. You, Lu family's grand elder, actually colluded with others to kill my disciple, my only disciple. No, it's not like that. Ming Han panicked. It's the Jade Sword School, it has nothing to do with me. At this moment, Qin Yu didn't believe his explanation. Wah! In a flash, Qin Yu was in front of Ming Han. His speed was frightening. This was the first time Qin Yu had used his full speed after reaching the late stage of Dark Star. Even Wu Bo was shocked to find that his speed was not as fast as Qin Yu's. Ming Han's entire body trembled in fear. Puchi. Ming Han's hand was like a sharp weapon, piercing through Ming Han's abdomen. Then he grabbed onto Ming Han's Yuanying. Ming Han trembled in fear. Faced with Qin Yu's speed, he couldn't react. Demonic Dao secret technique. Soul search. Qin Yu once again used the soul search technique. With the help of Lu Xing's tears, Qin Yu easily understood everything. Whether it was the Jade Sword School's secret plan, or the events that transpired in the hall, Qin Yu had seen everything that Ming Han had seen. Qin Yu couldn't help but look at the scene in his mind. You talk to me about family. Do I have a family? The Lu family humiliated me. I'm worse than an orphan. His disciple's crazed appearance shook Qin Yu's heart. Despair. Wasn't he the same when he was a child? You are surprised why my face is so red, right? Let me tell you. This is a poison that can only be found in Amber Moon. Unfortunately, you immortals don't understand this poison, but I do. His disciple's crazed expression made Qin Yu's heart tremble. Hey, even if the enemy comes, so what? Can they kill your teacher? Foolish disciple. It's all my fault, I didn't let you know my true strength. Your teacher has the Qingyu Immortal Mansion and the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts. What is there to be afraid of? For me, you actually committed suicide, just to remind me not to fall into an ambush. Foolish disciple. Teacher, these 10 years of self-respect is more satisfying than 100 or 1,000 years of mediocre people. Disciple's death, being able to let you know the danger. Disciple is already satisfied. Qin Yu looked at the scene of his disciple bleeding from the 7 orifices. His whole heart trembled. In a trance, Qin Yu seemed to see his father's tribulation, the scene of him dying together with the enemy. The same determination, the same disregard for everything. In my life the only regret is, her. Lu Honshu was bleeding from the 7 orifices, as if he was in a dream. His eyes were filled with reluctance before his death. In his memory, Honshu slowly fell to the ground, making a loud boom sound as his body hit the ground. Qin Yu's heart also felt as if it had been violently smashed. His entire body trembled violently. Qin Yu's whole body trembled, his hands trembled. His muscles were stretched to the limit, blue veins popping out. His eyes were like an angry lion, fiercely staring at Wu Bo not far away. Jade Sword School. I want you, blood for blood. Level 2 or 3 golden immortal strength. Wu Bo could easily detect Qin Yu's strength from the aura emitted by Qin Yu. His heart was full of disdain. He was a level 8 golden immortal, moreover a sword immortal. Blank. Wu Bo put his hand on the hilt of the sword behind his back. Unsheath. Too close. Less than 10 meters away, a level 8 golden immortal and a late dark star expert. The two were unable to dodge. The figure collided with the sword energy. Qin Yu was wearing a top-grade immortal battle armor, while his divine battle armor was hidden in his body, ready to appear at any time. The sharp sword energy struck the top-grade immortal battle armor, but it didn't break the armor. But it was like hitting a bull through a mountain, shaking Qin Yu's body, even attacking Qin Yu's abdomen. Wu Bo's face had a hint of a smile. Yuanying was weak. A level 3 golden immortal facing this move would die without a doubt. Unfortunately, Wu Bo had miscalculated the toughness of Qin Yu's body. Although Qin Yu was only a late dark star expert, without various weapons and equipment, his attack power was at most comparable to a level 3 golden immortal. But Qin Yu's body was stronger than a level 9 golden immortal's body. After all, immortals rarely refined their bodies. Most importantly, Qin Yu's body had an endless amount of elemental life force, which completely healed the injuries he had just received. Moreover, Qin Yu's body was not weak Yuanying, but an extremely condensed, dark star. The impact of this force on Qin Yu was negligible. But could Qin Yu's attack power break through the defense of a level 8 golden immortal? Wu Bo was wearing a mid-grade immortal battle armor. Although it was only a mid-grade immortal battle armor, Wu Bo was very strong. Even if Qin Yu used a top-grade immortal sword, he might not be able to break through it. Slash! A short sword suddenly appeared in Qin Yu's hand, directly piercing through Wu Bo's body and Yuanying. That defensive battle armor was of no use at all. This is the first time I've used the divine weapon Heaven Splitter to kill someone. Under Wu Bo's incredulous gaze, Qin Yu slowly said in a low voice, "Divine weapon, Heaven Splitter." Wu Bo was even more incredulous. Every sword immortal knew of the strongest divine sword, Heaven Splitter, of the number 1 sword immortal, Immortal Emperor Ni Yang. This short sword was actually the legendary divine weapon Heaven Splitter. The difference in power between Qin Yu and his opponent was indeed very large. If not for the fact that Qin Yu's aura had been released at the beginning, allowing the opponent to immediately determine that Qin Yu was only a level 2 or 3 golden immortal and become careless, he definitely wouldn't have died so easily. In the end, Qin Yu relied on the incomparable sharpness of the divine sword, Heaven Splitter, to kill his opponent. Divine weapon. That was definitely an extremely sharp weapon that could kill people several levels above it. Not to mention that Heaven Splitter was a middle-grade divine weapon, much more powerful than Pan Man's low-grade divine weapon. Foolish disciple, your master didn't use the sword immortal puppet to kill him, but personally used the divine sword, Heaven Splitter, to kill him. Qin Yu looked at Han Shu's corpse not far away. His heart couldn't help but ache. Qin Yu waved his sleeve and collected Han Shu's corpse. Han Shu, when this matter is over, I will properly bury you. As for now, it's time to let those people who only know how to hide in the dark be buried with you. Qin Yu's gaze was cold. The sword immortal puppet suddenly appeared. A ray of light shot from Qin Yu's body into the puppet's body. Qin Yu's soul had already entered the puppet's body. With a wave of his hand, Qin Yu stored his body into the Qin Yu immortal mansion. Of course, his own body was more important than the sword immortal puppet. After all, only by relying on his own body could he cultivate. Moreover, his body had unlimited potential for development. Only, in terms of toughness, the sword immortal puppet's body was stronger. Now, Qin Yu didn't want to defend. He only wanted to kill. Crazy slaughter. He directly pushed open the hall's door. Outside the hall, Kong Lan, Tu Gang, and Tan Meng were waiting respectfully. They already knew that Qin Yu was inside, but they didn't dare to disturb him. Master! Kong Lan and the other two bowed. Qin Yu raised his head to look at the dark red moon in the sky. Kong Lan, have you noticed that under the illumination of this dark red moon, the earth of amber moon is still not red enough? Kong Lan's pupils shrank. His eyes flashed with a hint of cruel bloodlust. He said, then we should use blood to dye it red. Hearing Kong Lan's answer, Qin Yu slowly nodded. You're right, we should use blood to dye it red. Moreover, we should use the blood of experts to dye it red. Finished speaking, Qin Yu looked towards the sky. Qin Yu's sensitive immortal sense had already sensed that there were people coming to kill. The three figures were extremely fast, emitting a huge aura that caused the tens of millions of cultivators in Lu Feng City to tremble. These cultivators felt an unprecedented fear. Three immortal lords. In the blood-red night, the three figures stood high in the sky, coldly looking at the three people below. 3 level 9 demon kings and also divine beasts. Their strength is not bad. The leader of the three, immortal Lord Qian Qi, said with a faint smile. At this time, 10 figures flew over. The first batch of level 9 golden immortals had arrived. You're from Qin Yu's sect. Immortal Lord Qian Qi looked at Qin Yu. He felt that Qin Yu was somewhat mysterious. Qin Yu's face only had a cruel sneer. My sect's disciple was killed by your people. Qin Yu's voice sounded. That was my only disciple, and he died for me. His voice contained endless anger. It was the endless flames of hell hidden in the depths of the 9 underworlds. Immortal Lord Qian Qi, Yu Qingzi, and Immortal Lord Xiaohua did not care at all. At this time, batches of level 9 golden immortals had arrived, followed by batches of level 8 golden immortals. Close to 70 level 9 golden immortals, and close to 200 level 8 golden immortals. Qin Yu's eyes emitted a cold light. Close to 300 people formed 2 large circles in the sky. All of them were looking down at Qin Yu and them. Close to 300 people. Furthermore, the weakest among them was a level 8 golden immortal. The aura formed by this group of people was simply suffocating. Almost everyone is here. Qin Yu's voice sounded. When all the golden immortals heard this, they could not help but be stunned. Qin Yu took a deep breath and whispered in his heart, "Silly disciple, there's something that Master did not know." The immortal sword puppet's strongest body, combined with the heaven piercer's strongest attack. How strong would the two be? Qin Yu's gaze swept over the countless golden immortals. However, Master will personally test it out today. Chapter 334. This time, the leader of Emperor Yu's party was undoubtedly Immortal Lord Qian Qi. After all, Immortal Lord Qian Qi was the leader of Emperor Yu's 36 rulers. Whether it was strength or status, he was much higher than Yu Qingzi. "Are you the one who killed my disciple Yu Dian?" Yu Qingzi shouted condescendingly. Now that Yu Qingzi and his men thought that everything was under their control, Yu Qingzi wanted to find out who the murderer of his disciple was before he acted. It was me. Qin Yu looked up and coldly stared at Yu Qingzi. I not only killed your disciple Yu Dian, today I will kill even more of your disciples. Shameless boasting. Yu Qingzi glared angrily. At this time, immortal Lord Qian Qi's voice sounded in Yu Qingzi's mind. Yu Qingzi, don't forget Emperor Yu's order. It would be best if we can capture him alive. If we can't, then kill him and use the soul-searching technique. Brother Qian Qi, I was too rash. Yu Qingzi apologized via voice transmission. Revenge for Yu Dian was a small matter. Completing Emperor Yu's mission was the most important. Immortal Lord Qian Qi looked indifferently at Qin Yu and said, I am Immortal Lord Qian Qi, the leader of Emperor Yu's 36 rulers. I will never kill a nameless person. Quickly tell me your name. Immortal Lord Qian Qi wanted to use this method to know the opponent's name. Emperor Yu, the leader of the 36 rulers. Although Qin Yu's killing intent filled his chest, Immortal Lord Qian Qi's words still made Qin Yu's heart feel a trace of vigilance. For the enemy to avenge Yu Dian, it was unimaginable that they would use such a large force. What my name is, you are not qualified to know. Qin Yu coldly said. Brother Qian Qi, there is no need to talk nonsense with him. According to Emperor Yu's order, just kill him. At the moment of his death, it will not be too late to use the soul-searching technique. Yu Qingzi coldly said. Yu Qingzi even openly said this to let Qin Yu know. Continued to be arrogant. His Majesty, Emperor Yu, personally gave the order to deal with you. How could you possibly survive? Yu Qingzi coldly stared at Qin Yu. Qin Yu's head was in a feverish state the entire time. However, he forced himself to remain calm in his heart. Calm down, calm down. The other party's actions this time were obviously ordered by Emperor Yu. Therefore, Emperor Yu must have heard the name Qin Yu. In the mortal world, both the Qingshu Temple and the Yingyue Palace have ways to send messages to the upper world. That Hua Yan is in the mortal realm. He will definitely report the situation to the immortal realm. Most likely. My name this Emperor Yu also knows. Suddenly, Qin Yu felt a hint of anger. I refuse to believe that if I truly wanted to escape, how could Emperor Yu possibly be able to find me in the boundless immortal, devil and demon realm? Qin Yu's killing intent began to surge. After this matter is over, with the help of Lu Xing's tears, I can completely restrain my aura. The moment I left, I immediately changed my appearance. No one will be able to recognize me. Qin Yu was confident. Without any worries, what was Qin Yu afraid of? Suddenly, Qin Yu could no longer suppress his endless anger. In an instant, it completely filled his entire brain. Brother Qian Qi, don't waste time with him. Just kill him. Yu Qingzi advised. Immortal Lord Qian Qi looked at Qin Yu. I'll give you one last chance. If you surrender, you can at least temporarily keep your life. Otherwise, once I give the order, you will die without a doubt. Die without a doubt. Qin Yu licked his lips. His eyes flashed with a bloodthirsty light. Kong Lan, Tu Gang and Tan Meng had been quietly waiting for Qin Yu's order. Emperor Yu, you must have made such a big move to find out my identity. Then I can't let you down. Qin Yu's heart surged with a crazy killing intent. His pupils involuntarily contracted. Immortal Lord Qian Qi saw Qin Yu's expression and knew that he would not surrender without a fight. He immediately ordered. Everyone listen, kill these 4 people at all costs. Yes! 70 level 9 golden immortals and 200 level 8 golden immortals responded at the same time. Their voices shook the heavens and the earth. All the cultivators in Lu Feng City trembled in their hearts. They could only quietly look through the windows at the unreachable figures above Lu Feng City. Hoo! Hoo! Like a rain of arrows, countless sword chi and splendor directly shot down towards the 4 people below. Qin Yu and the other 3 people were completely surrounded by the sword chi and splendor. In the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts, all level 8 demon kings and level 9 demon kings attack. At the same time as Immortal Lord Qian-Chi gave the order, Qin Yu also gave the order. 40 top-grade elemental holy stones. How long will it take for the sword immortal puppet to consume? Foolish disciple, this is the blood sacrifice that Master brought to you. Qin Yu saw the sword Qi shooting towards him. His whole body suddenly moved. Qin Yu turned into a black shadow and pierced into the level 9 golden immortal camp in the sky. Blood splattered across the night sky. Wherever Qin Yu passed by, all the level 9 gold immortals would fall to the ground. The abdomens of the level 9 golden immortals were pierced, and their yuanying was pierced. Qin Yu relied on the formidable defense of the sword immortal puppet, completely ignoring the attacks of the immortal swords and sword Qi. Relying on the sharpness of Heaven Cleaver, he reaped his opponent's life as fast as he could. How is this possible? Immortal Emperor Qian-Chi, Yu Qingzi, and Xia Hua were all shocked. Even though he was an immortal emperor, his body's defensive power was not as strong as Qin Yu's, which allowed him to ignore the attacks of all level 9 golden immortals. In just a moment, Qin Yu had already killed 12 level 9 golden immortals. Massacre. This was a massacre. Ah! Screams came from afar. Immortal Emperor Qian-Chi, Yu Qingzi, and Xia Hua finally noticed that a group of level 8 golden immortals had appeared out of thin air. These people were all crazy. With a swoosh sound, one by one they appeared. In the second layer of the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts, there were 28 level 9 demon kings and over 100 level 8 demon kings. This group of people finally killed their way out. In the beginning, the Golden Immortal Army was panicking and lost many experts. But after a while, these level 8 and level 9 Golden Immortals began to fight with the Spirit Beasts. Some Golden Immortals saw that they were no match for their opponents and immediately fled on their swords. In the blink of an eye, they were thousands of miles away. But the Spirit Beasts also chased after them. The battle was originally only in the sky above Lu Feng City, but as the fighting intensified, the area affected became larger and larger. Rumble. The sound of explosions continued to ring out. Level 8 and level 9 golden immortals were fighting, surging waves of energy constantly colliding. It was as if thousands of heavenly thunders were constantly roaring. Not only Lu Feng City, but even the cultivators in the other two cities of Amber Moon could hear the terrifying sounds. Sword Qi crisscrossed. Light radiated in all directions. Houses collapsed, mountains crumbled, rivers stopped flowing. Hundreds of level 8 and level 9 golden immortals were crazily killing each other. The whole of Amber Moon seemed to have fallen into an endless hell. The strongest cultivators in Amber Moon were only level 1 or 2 golden immortals. They could not withstand the attacks of these experts. Doomsday. The hearts of countless cultivators trembled. Times, the 15th. Qin Yu's whole body pierced through a level 9 golden immortal's body. The level 9 golden immortal's body was split into 7 or 8 pieces. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. Qin Yu casually put yuanying into the blazing profound ring. Suddenly, a green sword Qi seemed to fall from the sky, slashing towards Qin Yu. When Qin Yu wants to dodge, he suddenly feels as if his whole body is stuck in a quagmire and his speed has dropped a lot. He basically has no time to dodge. With a backhand, he uses his short sword to block that sword energy. As if he was hit by a heavy hammer, Qin Yu fell down. The energy consumption is too fast. Just blocking this sword, Qin Yu felt that his 9 top-grade elemental spirit stones had used up 30% of their energy. You can take my sword and not die, your strength is not bad. Yu Qingzi stood in front of Qin Yu, coldly looking at Qin Yu. You dared to take so many attacks. Are you wearing a divine armor? Immortal Lord Qian-Chi and Immortal Lord Xia Hua also looked at Qin Yu, the 3 Immortal Lords' eyes burning. They had seen Qin Yu's unscrupulous killing just now. Other than the explanation of a divine armor, they could not think of how Qin Yu's defense could reach such a level. A divine armor. Even immortal Lord Qian Qi did not have a single divine armor. The value of a divine armor could be imagined, not to mention a defensive one. The three immortal lords' eyes were red. Qin Yu did not move, only looking at Yu Qingzi. What method did you use just now? How did it make me feel like I was stuck in a quagmire? Qin Yu asked directly. Yu Qingzi, immortal Lord Qian Qi and immortal Lord Xiahua were all stunned. Once you reach the immortal lord level, you can control the energy of a domain. Don't tell me you don't even know the whole thing. Yu Qingzi was stunned and then laughed coldly. You don't have to pretend to be deaf and dumb. Yu Qingzi attacked again. This time around, Qin Yu was able to clearly see that misty sword ray. Once Yu Qingzi's immortal sword appeared, the space around the immortal sword spread out like waves. At the same time, countless sword chi appeared naturally in this space, constantly gathering towards the immortal sword. Is this a domain? Qin Yu guessed. Master, the enemy has too many level 9 golden immortals. And many of them are golden immortals. Many of our brothers can't hold on. Kong Lan's voice sounded in Qin Yu's mind. Qin Yu's figure flew back, at the same time his immortal sense spread out. Everywhere he saw killing, the strength of the Jade Sword School's troops was indeed strong, level 8 golden immortals against level 8 demon kings. But many of these golden immortals were sword immortals with strong attack power. This caused Qin Yu's spirit beast army to suffer a great loss. One by one, the level 8 and level 9 demon kings, when they were about to be killed, all of them simultaneously escaped into the Atlas of 10,000 beasts. This caused many golden immortals to feel aggrieved. Just as they were about to kill their opponents disappeared into thin air as if they had teleported. However, there were also powerful level 8 and level 9 demon kings. Most of these demon kings were divine beasts. They also killed the golden immortals, tearing apart their bodies, destroying their yuanying, causing the golden immortals' souls to scatter. When golden immortals kill demon kings can escape into the Atlas of 10,000 beasts. When demon kings kill golden immortals have nowhere to run. Fresh blood dyed the night sky red. Life after life disappeared just like that. The majority of them were golden immortals. Qin Yu discovered that one by one, the demon kings who were facing danger escaped into the Atlas of 10,000 beasts, while the pitiful golden immortals had nowhere to run and were killed. His mood could not help but be very good. Kong Lan, kill as many as you can if you really can't. Just hide in the Atlas of 10,000 beasts. As for the rest, Qin Yu felt the endless power in his body. Just leave it to me. Qin Yu gripped the divine sword Sky Piercer tightly in his hand. Yes, master. Qin Yu looked at Yu Qingzi in the distance and said, Yu Qingzi, I remember that the Silver Stream Galaxy is under your control. You can be considered the #1 person in the Silver Stream Galaxy. At this time you still want to waste time. This time you will definitely die. There is no need to think about other things. Yu Qingzi coldly looked at Qin Yu, while Immortal Lord Qian Qi and Immortal Lord Xiahua surrounded Qin Yu from 2 other directions. Qin Yu did not care about any of this. He only looked at Yu Qingzi and said, No, I just want to tell you one thing. There is a disciple in Maple Moon Star called Lu Honshu. He was 25 years old when he was only in the middle stage of Jin Dan. 25 years old and only in the middle stage of Jin Dan. Hearing this, Yu Qingzi could not help but laugh at Lu Honshu's poor aptitude. Lu Honshu can be considered to have lived at the lowest level, ridiculed and discriminated against. When he was 25 years old, his life changed for the better. When Qin Yu said this, Immortal Lord Qian Qi and Immortal Lord Xiahua were secretly setting up a restriction array. But Qin Yu did not care. Yu Qingzi was also happy to stall for time. The days of freedom with a straight back. He only lived for 10 years. He died. Because of me he was killed by your people. Qin Yu's voice was very calm. Not only was there no anger, there was even a trace of a smile, but that smile was chilling. So I want these hundreds of level 8 and level 9 golden immortals, and even immortal lords to be buried with him. Qin Yu lightly glanced at the 3 immortal lords. A 25-year-old middle stage Jin Dan trash is dead. You still want immortal lords to be buried with him, dream on. Yu Qingzi could not help but mock. Whether it is a dream or not, we will know soon. Qin Yu smiled slightly. Die. Just as Yu Qingzi's voice rang out, 3 brilliant lights shot out from the palms of the 3 immortal lords. Qin Yu's entire space seemed to distort. The distorted space was filled with 3 different colored lights. The area Qin Yu was in completely exploded. In an instant the area was as dazzling as the sun, illuminating the entire Lu Feng city. He's almost dead. Immortal Lord Qian Qi was full of confidence. Even if it was me, I would probably die on the spot. In the other 2 positions, Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Xiahua were also certain that Qin Yu was dead. However, the explosion was only a few dozen meters away from Immortal Emperor Xiahua, who was the weakest among them. An afterimage shot out from the explosion. The distance of a few dozen meters was negligible. Immortal Emperor Xiahua could only instinctively dodge and block. The short sword first pierced Immortal Lord Xiahua's body, directly piercing through the Yuanying. Immediately after, the short sword fiercely slashed upwards, creating a half-meter-long gash. Qin Yu grabbed with both hands and tore Immortal Lord Xiahua into 2, blood splattering all over the ground. Qin Yu stood in the air, his body still bathed in Immortal Lord Xiahua's blood. Under the blood-red moonlight, Qin Yu looked even more terrifying. Foolish disciple, this is the first Immortal Lord to be buried with you. Qin Yu muttered in his heart. Immediately after, Qin Yu's whole body moved again, turning into a ray of light and appearing in front of Yu Qingzi. Chapter 335. Whether it was Yu Qingzi or Immortal Lord Qian Qi, they were both stunned. Under the combined attack of the 3, Qin Yu actually did not die. Xiahua's instant death shocked Qian Qi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi even more. At this time, Qin Yu actually charged towards Yu Qingzi. Facing Qin Yu's crazy attack, Yu Qingzi's only reaction was, without holding back, he slashed out with his sword. Pang! Qin Yu was sent flying back hundreds of meters. Then Qin Yu stood in the air, looking at Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi not far away. In reality, Qin Yu was rapidly exchanging top-grade elemental holy rock. I've used up all my energy. I'll exchange for 9 new pieces of top-grade elemental holy rock. Qin Yu exchanged the top-grade elemental holy rock in the puppet's body. It was only a moment. Yu Qingzi's attack was too fierce. Just blocking one sword would consume at least 30% of his energy. Just now, when the 3 immortal lords attacked together, luckily it was a type of restrictive attack that locked me in place. That way, I could not use my internal energy to defend myself and let the energy hit me. Qin Yu sighed in his heart. Using the puppet's body, the most troublesome thing was the need to supply energy. Of course, Qin Yu could also control the energy of the top-grade elemental holy rock in his body, but if he did not use it, for example, just now, Qin Yu's entire body would be like Lu Xing, sent flying out of Amber Moonstar. He had to use energy to counteract the impact, so naturally he used up a lot of energy. Yu Qingzi, just now I said that I would bury the immortal lords with Han Shu. Didn't you not believe me? Qin Yu said with a smile. Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi were really shocked. When the 3 immortal lords attacked together, Qin Yu did not die. This was too abnormal. I also said that I would bury hundreds of level 8 and level 9 golden immortals with Han Shu. How many level 8 and level 9 golden immortals have died? Qin Yu said with a smile. Yu Qingzi and Immortal Emperor Qian Qi couldn't help but spread out their immortal senses. More than 130 of the 200 level 8 golden immortals had perished, and nearly 30 of the 70 level 9 golden immortals had perished. And now, Kong Lan, Tu Gang, and Tan Meng were still leading a dozen people to continue fighting. Amongst them, Kong Lan was the most eye-catching. He possessed a top-grade immortal armor and a top-grade offensive immortal artifact. Coupled with Kong Lan's own strength, none of the level 9 golden immortals here were his match. Supreme-grade immortal armor. Yu Qingzi's eyes lit up. He no longer cared about Qin Yu. His entire body traversed several hundred meters in an instant, and a beam of sword light appeared above Kong Lan, who was in the midst of a fierce battle. Kong Lan hurriedly blocked with his top-grade saber, a level 1 Immortal Emperor Sword Immortal and a level 9 Demon King Divine Beast. But one of them launched a sneak attack, while the other hurriedly blocked. Kong Lan spat out a mouthful of blood and flew back. Yu Qingzi sneered and was about to give chase. But at this moment, Qin Yu had no time to save him. Suddenly, Kong Lan, who was retreating, disappeared. Yu Qingzi looked at this scene in astonishment. The air trembled. A shadow appeared in front of Yu Qingzi in the blink of an eye. Yu Qingzi only saw a pair of cold and bloodthirsty eyes. Without hesitation, Yu Qingzi's immortal sword emitted a shocking brilliance. An explosion sounded. Yu Qingzi and Qin Yu retreated in opposite directions. Another 30% of my energy. Qin Yu felt helpless. This Yu Qingzi's attack power is much stronger than that immortal Emperor Xia Hua's. One sword was enough to split me apart. I didn't even have the chance to get close to him. And that sword, no matter what, I couldn't dodge it. As one of the 36 rulers, how could he be killed so easily? Yu Qingzi, this guy is relying on the defense of his divine armor. No matter what, you can't let him get close. Immortal Emperor Qian Qi transmitted. I know. With my Jade Ring sword technique, he can forget about getting close to me. Yu Qingzi was very confident. He transmitted. Brother Qian Qi, I feel that his strength isn't that strong. If you use the mountain shaking seal, you can attack him through the divine armor. Although your attack power will be reduced to 10%, it should be enough to kill him. Mountain shaking seal. Immortal Emperor Qian Qi's eyes lit up. Qin Yu looked at these two great immortal emperors. He didn't know what these two great immortal emperors were talking about through voice transmissions. Merely, after the successive attacks earlier, Qin Yu discovered that he was unable to do anything to them. Silly disciple, your master's strength is not enough. I can't even get close to him. Qin Yu glanced at the level 9 golden immortals beside him. So far only 30 of them had died. I can't kill another immortal emperor. I can only use more level 9 golden immortals to accompany you in death. A black ray of light. It shot towards the level 9 golden immortals. Anyone who was pierced by the black ray of light would die without a doubt. Immortal Emperor Qian Qi's face was solemn. His hands were forming a seal, and his hands were emitting rays of green light. Strange green runes slowly appeared in the palms of his hands. When the black ray of light consecutively killed 12 level 9 golden immortals. Boom! Qin Yu felt as if he had fallen into a quagmire. Only this time the situation was more serious than the last time. At the same time, a 7 or 8 meter large green palm came crashing down towards Qin Yu. Pang! Qin Yu couldn't dodge in time, and was directly hit by the palm. Qin Yu's whole body was smashed to the ground. Qin Yu only felt a strange force penetrating his outer armor and into his body. It was constantly transmitted to the depths of his body, all the way to the 9x9 origin spirit array. Qin Yu's heart jumped in fright. If the 9x9 origin spirit array was broken, then wouldn't the sword immortal puppet's body be finished? When the strange force transmitted to the periphery of the 9x9 origin spirit array, it actually dissipated. Letting out a sigh of relief, Qin Yu hurriedly used the top-grade elemental spirit stone in his body to counteract the rapid fall of his body. When he was close to the ground, Qin Yu's whole body finally stopped falling. 9 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stone, and there's only about 5% energy left. Qin Yu felt the terrifying depletion of energy in his body, and couldn't help but be shocked. Die! Immortal Emperor Qian Qi's other palm came crashing down. This palm came crashing down on Qin Yu's head. The force of the palm smashed Qin Yu's whole body into the ground, sinking deeper and deeper. The strange force that penetrated his body through the armor once again transmitted to the 9x9 origin spirit array, automatically dissipated. Pang! 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 Qin Yu's sword immortal puppet's body unceasingly collided with the underground rock layer, unceasingly falling deeper into the ground. The energy of the top-grade elemental holy rock in Qin Yu's body had already been completely used up. This immortal Emperor Qian Qi is too terrifying. If I used my original body, even if I wore the divine armor, black frozen snow, immortal Emperor Qian Qi would still be able to heavily injure or even kill me. Qin Yu could feel it. When the palm hit his body, most of the energy was used on the surface, but there was still about 10% of the strange force that penetrated his body. 10% of immortal Emperor Qian Qi's strength. If it was Qin Yu's body, it would really be dangerous. But this sword immortal puppet body, not only was the outside unbreakable, the inside was also the same. I don't want to fight with this immortal Emperor Qian Qi. Just 2 palms and my top-grade elemental spirit stone's energy will be completely depleted. Qin Yu immediately exchanged for another 9 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stone. Qin Yu tried to stop his body. Only now did Qin Yu discover that he had actually been smashed into the underground magma by a single palm strike. The spirit beasts have all escaped into the Atlas of 10,000 beasts. Now I have nothing to worry about. But what is going on I must find out. To tell the truth, Qin Yu was still not clear about the enemy's true goal. Was the enemy here to find out his identity, or to avenge Yu Dian? Just as Qin Yu was thinking, Qin Yu suddenly realized that immortal Emperor Qian Qi was actually following the path he crashed into. Without the slightest hesitation, Qin Yu rushed toward another direction. No one dared to teleport. After all, at this moment, the 2 sides were fighting and the space was trembling. If they teleported, they might be torn apart by the chaotic space. Relying on the toughness of his body, Qin Yu rushed out of the underground magma in a single breath. His immortal sense found a level 8 golden immortal not far away. Qin Yu ignored the pursuing immortal Emperor Qian Qi and directly rushed towards the level 8 golden immortal. This level 8 golden immortal was originally fighting with a level 8 demon king from Lufeng City all the way to Yanshan City. Who would have thought that the level 8 demon king would disappear into thin air? At this moment, the level 8 golden immortal was enraged. Ah! The level 8 golden immortal only saw a blurry shadow flash in the night sky. After that he lost consciousness. Qin Yu's hand was like a claw that grabbed the level 8 golden immortal's head. Demonic Path Soul Search. The soul search technique relied on the power of the soul. Although Qin Yu was in the body of the sword immortal puppet, he could still use it. After searching the Jade Sword School 3rd generation disciple, Qin Yu's heart understood. Yu Qingzi, immortal Emperor Qian Qi and the others gathered the experts of Red Leaf Star. Their goal was not to avenge Yu Dian. Qin Yu finally understood. If the enemy was not here to avenge Yu Dian, then there was only one possibility. Emperor Yu really doubted himself. If you doubt me, then so be it. Emperor Yu. After your subordinates report back to you, you should be able to guess that I have the Atlas of 10,000 beasts. But will you be able to find me? Qin Yu's heart was filled with confidence. Lu Xing's tear could completely conceal his aura. As long as Qin Yu changed his appearance, even Yu Qingzi and immortal Emperor Qian Qi would not be able to recognize Qin Yu. Suddenly, a terrifying energy descended from the sky. Qin Yu had already discovered immortal Emperor Qian Qi flying towards him from afar. Eat my dust. Qin Yu's divine sword, Heaven Splitter, enlarged. Stepping on it, Qin Yu's speed suddenly reached a new level. In an instant, he had left immortal Emperor Qian Qi far behind. Immortal Emperor Qian Qi stared blankly as Qin Yu left him behind. After a while, Yu Qingzi and the surviving level 9 and 8 golden immortals caught up. At this time, there were only 20 or so level 9 golden immortals and 50 or so level 8 golden immortals left. Almost all of them were injured. Brother Qian Qi, where is he? Yu Qingzi looked at immortal Emperor Qian Qi. Immortal Emperor Qian Qi smiled bitterly. He has already escaped. In this battle, the enemy did not suffer any losses. It was estimated that when their golden immortals self-destructed, the enemy lost a few people. On the other hand, their side lost most of their men, and even an immortal emperor died. Qin Yu, on the other hand, received a large number of level 8 and 9 golden immortals, and even an immortal emperor Yuanying. As for where Qin Yu escaped to, who would know? Chapter 336. The patriarch of the Lu family, Lu Yunlu, was extremely terrified at this moment, especially when he felt the terrifying sword energy emitted from the battle in the sky. He became even more worried and afraid. Whether it was the Jade Sword School or Qin Yu, both sides were terrifyingly strong, close to 300 golden immortals, and even the weakest is a level 8 golden immortal. What a strong force! The head of the Lu clan trembled. When the level 8 golden immortal Wu Bo secretly contacted the head of the Lu clan and the Lu clan Grand Elder, he revealed that the weakest expert was a level 8 golden immortal. As for the head of the Lu clan, he knew the number of people who came. Because the planet's transfer array was controlled by the Lu clan, the number of people who came, the Lu clan naturally knew. That Qin Yu's background is too big to be able to fight evenly with the Jade Sword School? The head of the Lu clan thought of the Grand Elder being killed, and felt his legs go weak. If the Jade Sword School wins, they might blame us because Qin Yu is our guest. If Qin Yu wins, he can kill the Grand Elder, and can also destroy our Lu clan. No matter who won, it would not be good for the Lu clan. The head of the Lu clan could only feel the darkness of the future. The sound of the explosion gradually disappeared, and the head of the Lu clan felt that the blood-red night had returned to its calm state. It was so quiet that not even a trace of sound could be heard. This made the head of the Lu clan even more nervous. Sitting in the study, the head of the Lu clan let his imagination run wild. Suddenly, a series of sonic booms sounded from outside the study, and the head of the Lu clan's face changed. Lu Yunlu, come out. An angry shout came from outside the study. What's coming has come. Lu Yunlu sighed in his heart, and then squeezed out a smile, straightened his back, and opened the door to walk out. Outside was the angry Yu Qingzi's group. Yu Qingzi and Immortal Emperor Qian Qi were the leaders, and behind them were 70 or 80 golden immortals. When they came, the total number of level 8 and level 9 golden immortals was more than 270, but now almost 200 had died, including an immortal emperor. Lu Yunlu, this is the head of the Jade Sword School, and this is Immortal Emperor Qian Qi. A level 9 golden immortal shouted. Lu Yunlu immediately bowed and said, Lu Yunlu greets the two seniors. At this time, Lu Yunlu didn't seem to be nervous at all. When a person's fear reached the limit, they would be like Lu Yunlu, no longer afraid of anything, because he was prepared for the worst-case scenario. You are the head of the Lu family. Yu Qingzi's eyes were cold. Yes. Lu Yunlu bowed his head. Yu Qingzi said slowly. The operation to kill Qin Yu's sect elders was ordered by His Majesty Emperor Yu. But this time we let that guy escape. And just as you said, that Qin Yu, we searched the entire Amber Moon planet but couldn't find him. What's going on? I know that Maple Moon planet's teleportation array is controlled by your Lu family. If he leaves, your Lu family should know, right? Yu Qingzi asked. Lu Yunlu thought for a moment and said, Qin Yu's power has reached the level of a golden immortal. He probably received the news in advance and used greater teleportation to reach another planet. It's not impossible. Yu Qingzi's face was filled with anger. Beside him, Immortal Lord Qian Qi was also unhappy. This time they had lost miserably. Yu Qingzi was so angry that he wanted to go on a killing spree. If not for the fact that he was suppressing the anger in his heart, he would have already gone mad. This time, the Jade Sword School had lost 80% of its elite disciples. Even the second-generation disciples were only left with 2. The number of experts in the Silver Stream Galaxy was far from enough. Yu Qingzi's position in Emperor Yu's palace was likely to drop. Immortal Lord Qian Qi also failed his mission. Although his galaxy was not in the Indigo Bay starfield, he was not happy that Emperor Yu had given him such an important mission. Tell me everything about Qin Yu, especially where that Qin Yu could be. Immortal Lord Qian Qi said. Immortal Lord Qian Qi, Yu Qingzi and the rest treated the people who had fought with them and Qin Yu separately. They thought that there were no clues to find Qin Yu's sect elders. They could only find Qin Yu first. Where could Qin Yu be? Lu Yunlu muttered. Immortal Lord Qian Qi and Yu Qingzi stared at Lu Yunlu. Ah, there is a possibility. Lu Yunlu's eyes suddenly lit up. Seniors, that year when Qin Yu first came to Amber Moon, he asked us for the interstellar map to the demon realm. Moreover, I talked with Qin Yu a few times. Qin Yu has always wanted to go to the demon realm. Immortal Lord Qian Qi and Yu Qingzi were both happy. Demon realm. The two immortal lords looked at each other. Speak, is there any other way to find Qin Yu? Immortal Lord Qian Qi asked again. They wanted to squeeze all the information out of Lu Yunlu. Lu Yunlu thought for a long time, but still shook his head blankly. Yu Qingzi's eyes flashed with anger. He asked again, in your entire Lu clan besides you and your Grand Elder, who else is close to Qin Yu? No, even if there is, they are all dead. Lu Yunlu obviously thought of Lu Honshu. It was just that when Lu Yunlu found out that the Grand Elder had died, he also found out that Lu Honshu's soul jade slip had shattered. Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi stayed on Amber Moon for half a day, carefully looking for clues. In the end, they could only helplessly return to Red Leaf Star. Times faintly in the thick clouds, an almost transparent white veil floated. Inside the veil, a purple-robed middle-aged man sat cross-legged inside. In front of him was a small table with a cup of tea. However, opposite him was no longer the green-robed sword immortal. Extremely strong defense. Could it be a divine armor? Emperor Yu smiled. Looks like it could really be Ni Yang's Black Snow divine armor. That person was able to kill Xia Hua. Looks like his strength is around level 9 Golden Immortal or level 1 Immortal Lord. There are a lot of level 8 and 9 Demon Kings. Emperor Yu shook his head and smiled. At that time, Hua Yan sent news that the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts was obtained by Qin Yu's martial uncle Lan Feng. Looks like the person who killed everyone was Lan Feng. Only released Demon Kings. Lan Feng's strength should be at level 9 Golden Immortal. From these few messages, Emperor Yu had already deduced some information. Obviously, he already knew about the existence of the Divine Weapons Atlas of 10,000 Beasts and Black Snow. Naturally, Emperor Yu could easily deduce the existence of other divine weapons, such as Ni Yang's Heaven Splitter, Divine Sword and the Immortal Devil and Demon Realm's #1 treasure, Bewitching God Painting. Even though he knew this information, Emperor Yu's expression did not change, only slightly raising his eyebrows. Go to the Demon Realm. Seeing the news from Yu Qingzi, Emperor Yu was slightly surprised, but after a while he understood. Hua Yan once said that Qin Yu had 2 brothers. One of them was a fiery-eyed water ape. It looks like his 2 brothers have ascended to the Demon Realm, and he wants to go find them. Everything Emperor Yu guessed was not far from the truth. Soon after, Emperor Yu indifferently issued a few orders. Raising his teacup and taking a sip, Emperor Yu looked towards the southwest. From Indigo Bay Starfield to the Demon Realm, directly going west from the Immortal Realm should be the shortest path. And the Immortal Realm is also the place where my power is the strongest. Lan Feng, Qin Yu, I have many obstacles. Can you 2 uncle and nephew pass through? Emperor Yu's smile bloomed. Ha! Lightly exhaling, Emperor Yu muttered to himself. Bewitching God Painting, bewitching God Painting. Even I can't help but be moved when I hear about your existence. Now that I am already a level 8 Mystic Immortal, who knows when I will reach level 9 Mystic Immortal. Only, the power of the Divine Tribulation is too great. If I rely on myself to pass the tribulation, the possibility of success is too low. Bewitching God painting. Once the news of your return to the immortal devil and demon realm spreads, those old friends of yours will most likely leave their nest. Emperor Yu raised his teacup and drank it in one gulp, then suddenly stood up. Last time, it was an Yang who obtained the bewitching God painting, but his luck was bad and he was poisoned by a poisonous insect from the immortal realm. Even a poisonous insect from the immortal realm cannot be underestimated. Only this time I am the first to know about the bewitching God painting. This time it is my turn to obtain the bewitching God painting. Emperor Yu's smile became even more brilliant. His gaze seemed to pass through the white fog, through space and saw. Continue. Times from Indigo Bay Starfield to the demon realm. All the teleportation portals were very strict, especially those who appeared in the demon realm. Even Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi carefully looked at all suspicious people. After all, Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi had seen Qin Yu, Kong Lan, Tu Gang and Tan Meng. Emperor Yu's influence was very strong. In reality he controlled more than 20 galaxies, of course. He could not control an entire starfield. The galaxies controlled by the three great powers of the immortal realm were relatively scattered. No one could control an entire starfield. Emperor Yu himself controlled 20 galaxies, at the same time had many friendly powers, and even vassal powers, so Emperor Yu controlled a very large area. Church. But no matter how hard Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi ran, they could not find Qin Yu, Kong Lan and the others. This result caused Emperor Yu, who was far away in his headquarters, to be somewhat surprised. On a relatively prosperous planet, Yu Qingzi and Immortal Lord Qian Qi were walking side by side. Brother Qian Qi, just now Emperor Yu gave the order. The two of us can finally rest for a while. Yu Qingzi let out a long sigh of relief. Immortal Lord Qian Qi also smiled helplessly. His Majesty Emperor Yu is obviously very concerned about Qin Yu's sect. He ordered us to use all our strength to capture these two people, and to monitor almost every path, especially the one leading to the demon realm, but it was completely useless. That Qin Yu and his sect's elders are also strange. It's like they evaporated, we can't find them. Yu Qingzi said helplessly. Immortal Lord Qian Qi smiled faintly. When we were on Amber Moon, they escaped and we couldn't find them, and now it's the same, haha. It's really quite interesting. Our surveillance is so strict, but we still can't find them, could it be? They don't use interstellar teleportation to travel, but directly use greater teleportation. Yu Qingzi suddenly said. Immortal Lord Qian Qi was stunned. Constantly using greater teleportation to travel through interstellar space. Even immortal lords would not be so crazy, although greater teleportation distance is much greater than teleportation, but to travel through interstellar space, it is too tiring. Not only does it consume energy, but it also wastes time. Using interstellar teleportation was not only easy, but also fast and far. If Qin Yu and his sect's elders really used greater teleportation to travel, then they could really avoid Emperor Yu's people. Immortal Lord Qian Qi smiled. But to do that, it's a bit too crazy. Times the Indigo Bay starfield bordered by the Immortal Realm and the Devil Realm had a total of 10 galaxies, the largest of which was called the Blue Moon Galaxy. The Blue Moon Galaxy as a whole was shaped like a crescent moon, and there were 2 extremely large planets, one of which was called the Hidden Emperor Star. The Hidden Emperor Star was located in the northern region of the Blue Moon Galaxy, and there were many experts there. Golden immortals, who were rare on ordinary planets, could be seen everywhere on the Hidden Emperor Star. The master of the Hidden Emperor Star was after all the recognized #1 expert of the immortal realm, the Hidden Emperor. The Blue Moon Galaxy had 2 extremely large planets, the other was the Blue Fire Star. The Blue Fire Star was the core planet of the entire Indigo Bay starfield, and was extremely prosperous. Even among the countless planets in the immortal Devil and Demon realm, the Blue Fire Star could be considered as a top-level super-prosperous planet. There were experts from the immortal realm, the Devil realm, the Demon realm, and even people from mysterious areas. On the Blue Fire Star there was a restaurant that could be considered to be above average, the Hao Yu restaurant. This was a luxurious restaurant with 18 floors. To the Immortals and Devil Realm experts, not to mention an 18-floor restaurant, even a 100-floor palace would be a piece of cake. On the second floor of the Hao Yu restaurant, there were many customers eating and drinking. "Young master, let's go back and rest. We've been eating for a long time, the food is already cold." A pretty servant girl with bright eyes and white teeth gently pulled her young master's arm and said. This servant girl was from the demon realm, and had already reached level 6 Demon King. Her original form was a little white rabbit. Her young master was a young man in blue. Don't worry. Let your young master finish this wine before going back, okay? This young man's attitude towards his servant girl was extremely good. The servant girl pouted her little mouth and looked at her young master, and could only nod her head. That blue-clothed young man slightly smiled, and then continued to leisurely drink his wine. His gaze was looking through the window at the bustling big city. On the streets there were groups of experts. In the blue fire star, golden immortals could be seen everywhere. This was the core planet of the starfield. Although the Hao Yu restaurant was not a top-notch restaurant, the price of a night's accommodation was still 100 low-grade elemental spirit stones. It was not something that ordinary people could afford. Plus Qing Yan. The blue-clothed young man suddenly called out. A stout-looking middle-aged man heard the shout and immediately turned his head to look over. "Ah, it's young Master Shi Shuang. I didn't expect to see young Master Shi here." After saying that, he happily walked over. Chapter 337. Qing Yan, the owner of Hao Yu restaurant, was considered a local tyrant in Blue Flame Star. His wealth was comparable to the big clans of Amber Moon Star. There were many rich people on Blue Flame Star. Ming Han, Yen Gao and the rest were just ordinary people. In Blue Flame Star, the big shots of Amber Moon Star could be seen everywhere. From this, one could see the status of Blue Flame Star. In Blue Flame Star, it was even possible to meet a Demon Emperor-level expert from the Immortal or Demon Realm. The owner of Hao Yu restaurant, Qing Yan, had met young Master Shi Shuang half a month ago. He remembered young Master Shi Shuang mainly because young Master Shi Shuang was very generous. Staying in Hao Yu restaurant cost 100 high-grade elemental spirit stones per day. When young Master Shi Shuang arrived, he casually placed 10 high-grade elemental spirit stones on the table and said, "Deduct it from the room and meals. Let me know when it is not enough." 10 high-grade elemental spirit stones, that was 100,000. It was definitely enough for young Master Shi Shuang to stay for a long time. Such a rich guest was rare because most people who stayed for a long time would rent a courtyard or buy one. Very few would stay in a restaurant for a long time. Hao Yu restaurant had 18 floors. The 7th to the 17th floor were all rooms. Each room was extremely large. That day, Qing Yan had drunk with young Master Shi Shuang at the same table. Because when Qing Yan saw young Master Shi Shuang's servant, he knew that young Master Shi Shuang was not an ordinary person. This servant was a level 6 Demon King and was also from the Demon Realm. And young Master Shi Shuang's aura was only that of a level 2 or 3 Golden Immortal. The master was weaker than the servant. This could only mean that the master was from a big clan. Otherwise, to have someone so much stronger as a servant was too difficult. Young Master Shi, half a month has passed. Is young Master Shi used to living here? Qing Yan walked to the side and smiled. Sit. The blue-clothed youth smiled. Boss Qing Yan, what do you want to sit in such a hurry? The blue-clothed youth smiled and asked. Qing Yan was slightly startled. The blue-clothed youth said naturally, "If there is a secret, there is no need to say it. I'm just asking." The servant Wan pouted. "Young master asked you a question and you still put on airs." The blue-clothed youth glanced at the servant Wana. Wana immediately stuck her tongue out and did not dare to say anything. Qing Yan chuckled. "Young Master Shi, there's no need to blame Miss Wana, there's nothing secretive about this matter. Every time my Hao Yu hotel receives money, most of it is low-grade elemental spirit stones. Very few are mid-grade elemental spirit stones. High-grade elemental holy ore was extremely rare. So, after a period of time, the restaurant will accumulate a large amount of low-grade and mid-grade elemental spirit stones. I want to go out and exchange them for high-grade elemental spirit stones. Oh! The blue-clothed youth understood. That's right, your restaurant charges such a high price. How could ordinary people use high-grade elemental spirit stones? That's right. Where are you going to exchange your scattered low-grade and mid-grade elemental holy stones? Qing Yan chuckled and said, Young Master Shi, you don't know. I want to exchange for large amounts, but there are also people who want to exchange for small amounts of elemental spirit stones. After being in Blue Fire Star for so many years, there are still some channels. The young man in blue smiled and nodded. In terms of understanding of Blue Flame Star, I'm far inferior to Boss Qing Yan. Young Master, there's no need to say that. Young Master, you usually have your subordinates to help you with your matters. Why would you personally deal with such complicated matters? It's normal that you don't know about the intricacies, Qing Yan said with a smile. Qing Yan had long felt that young Master Shi Shuang was not ordinary. Not only did he see it from the maidservants, but also his temperament, that aloof and indifferent aura. How Yu Restaurant's patrons were mostly golden immortals, but there were also powerful level 8 and 9 golden immortals, or level 8 and 9 demon kings. But this young Master Shi Shuang did not seem to care about those people. The blue-clothed youth smiled and said, Speaking of exchanging money, I suddenly have a favor to ask of Boss Qing Yan. Young Master Shi, as long as I can help, I will definitely help. Qing Yan said. The blue-clothed youth nodded and said, Recently, I want to cultivate properly, but there are too few top-grade elemental spirit stones on me, and the purity of the high-grade elemental spirit stones is not enough. I want to ask Boss Qing Yan to help me exchange some top-grade elemental spirit stones for some top-grade elemental spirit stones. Qing Yan choked. In his heart he cursed. This motherf asterisk cur is infuriating. Using high-grade elemental spirit stones for cultivation is not enough? I rarely use high-grade elemental spirit stones for my own cultivation. Even using them once makes my heart ache. Fortunately, the blue-clothed youth had placed a small seal around the two of them when they were talking. Otherwise, the other patrons on the second floor would have cursed in their hearts. But this also confirmed Qing Yan's suspicions. This young Master Shi Shuang was a young master from a large family, with only the strength of a level 2 or 3 golden immortal. He insisted on using top-grade elemental spirit stones for his cultivation. A piece of top-grade elemental spirit stone was worth 1,000,000. One could see how much wealth he had. Exchange for top-grade elemental spirit stones. Qing Yan muttered to himself, then smiled bitterly to Shi Shuang. Young Master Shi, although I have my own channels, but usually I only exchange high-grade elemental spirit stones. As for top-grade elemental spirit stones, although I have exchanged a few times, but usually I only get a few pieces. Young Master Shi Shuang laughed lightly. I know you are familiar with the channels, but of course I will not let you work for nothing. When Qing Yan heard the last sentence, he was overjoyed. He knew that if such a big shot said that he would not work for nothing, the reward would definitely not be small. After a moment of silence, Qing Yan's eyes became resolute. He looked at young Master Shi Shuang and said, Young Master Shi, this time I will try for young Master Shi, but I wonder how many top-grade elemental spirit stones young Master Shi wants. Young Master Shi Shuang lightly drank a cup of wine. He laughed lightly. Try your best. 100 is not too little. 1,000 is not too much, of course. Can take out even more. Gulp. Qing Yan gulped. Qing Yan felt his heart tremble. 100 not too little. 100 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stones was equivalent to 100,000,000. Even if Qing Yan added up all his wealth, it would only be about the same amount. And from young Master Shi's tone, 100 pieces was nothing to him. Looking at Qing Yan's expression, young Master Shi Shuang laughed in his heart. To him, what was 100,000,000? During the battle on Amber Moonstar, he had killed a large number of level 9 golden immortals, and over 100 level 8 golden immortals. At the same time that his spirit beasts had killed him, they had also taken away his nascent soul and spatial ring. This was Qin Yu's earlier order. Killing others for their treasures. This was very normal. Level 8 Golden Immortals, Level 9 Golden Immortals, the poor ones had over 10 million, and the rich ones had over 1 billion. Among the group of people that Qin Yu had killed, the richest was naturally Immortal Emperor Xiahua. He was after all an immortal emperor. His wealth was close to 5 billion. This huge amount of wealth added up to over 10 billion. And the 3 envoys, Hua Yan, Ao Feng, and Du Zhongjun, although they did not have much elemental spirit stones, they had many rare treasures. The 3 of them together was a shocking amount. But Qin Yu had over 100 top-grade immortal equipment, and over 1,000 high-grade immortal equipment. Shi Shuang. One actually thinks that my name is a little like a girl's name. Qin Yu laughed at himself. Shi Shuang was a name that Qin Yu had made up. The Battle of Amber Moon. In the end, Qin Yu had escaped like lightning, directly using greater teleportation to continuously travel from one planet to another. Just relying on greater teleportation, Qin Yu had used greater teleportation for 3 days and 3 nights. From one planet to another. Fortunately, Qin Yu had a detailed map of the Indigo Bay starfield. He knew which planets were safe and which were dangerous. Qin Yu just like that, one moment he would enter an uninhabited desert planet, the next moment he would enter an inhabited planet. In this way, for 3 days and 3 nights, finally leaving the Silver Stream Galaxy, Qin Yu returned to his original body, changed his appearance, and put Kong Lan, Tu Gang, and Tan Meng into the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts. After that, he directly used the interstellar teleportation array to easily arrive at Blue Flame Star. Even if he met with surveillance on the way, no one would be able to recognize Qin Yu. With the help of Lu Xing's tear, even if Yu Qingzi and Immortal Emperor Qian Qi personally came, they would not be able to detect Qin Yu's soul. The power of the Dark Star was completely condensed in the deepest part of his dantian, a very small point. Arriving at Blue Flame Star, Qin Yu lived a quiet life. He knew that the current Emperor Yu would definitely intercept him on the way to the Demon Realm, so Qin Yu might as well stay in the Indigo Bay Starfield's most prosperous Blue Flame Star for a period of time. Qin Yu knew that Emperor Yu would definitely order his subordinates to pay attention to the existence of a Level 9 Demon King. After all, if a Level 9 Demon King appeared, it would very likely mean that the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts was present. In Blue Flame Star, there were all kinds of experts from all over the Immortal, Devil and Demon Realm. Qin Yu only chose a Level 6 Demon King Rabbit from the Atlas of 10,000 Beasts. A Level 6 Demon King in Blue Flame Star was not eye-catching. Even Qin Yu strictly ordered Wanner to call him Young Master, and not Master. Therefore a maid Wanner and a young Master Shi Shuang lived so inconspicuously in Blue Flame Star. How could Emperor Yu's subordinates find them? Young Master Shi, 100 pieces. Even if I exchange them for 100 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stones, I don't have that kind of ability. Qing Yan said helplessly. In reality, Qin Yu was not in a hurry. During the Battle of Amber Moon Star, he collected so many golden immortals interspatial rings. There were more or less some top-grade elemental spirit stones. The total amount was shocking. Especially that Immortal Emperor Xiahua, maybe because he was an immortal emperor. He used top-grade elemental spirit stones for his cultivation, so that Immortal Emperor Xiahua had more than 200 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stones. Try your best, exchange as much as you can this way. For every piece of top-grade elemental spirit stone, I'll give you 5 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. Qin Yu's face showed a trace of a smile. Qing Yan's eyes lit up. His breathing became slightly rough. Rest assured, young Master Shi, I will definitely think of a way to help you exchange enough top-grade elemental spirit stones. Qing Yan's entire aura changed. It was obvious that Qing Yan had decided to use various channels to help exchange. For every piece of top-grade elemental spirit stone, it would be 5 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. In other words, for every 500 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stones, it would be 2,500 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. which was 25 million in wealth. Regarding the matter of exchanging top-grade elemental holy ores, as long as I'm still staying in your restaurant, I'll accept as many as you can exchange for. Qin Yu says with a smile. I still have one more thing that I want to ask you. Please ask, young Master Shi. Qin Yan was now full of enthusiasm. Qin Yu's eyes narrowed, a ray of cold light flashed inadvertently. Boss Qin Yan, I heard that 10 years ago, Emperor Yu and the Demon Realm's Blood Devil Emperor formed a good business relationship, is that right? That's right. Qin Yan's face was full of envy. Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor, they are both supreme figures, their transactions, the amount of wealth is extremely terrifying. 10 years ago, when the two sides formed a good relationship, it caused a huge commotion in Blue Flame Star. At that time, Emperor Yu's side was managed by a level 8 golden immortal called Yu Dian. I still remember clearly. Oh! Qin Yu nodded slightly. The reason why he chose to stay in Blue Flame Star was, firstly, because Blue Flame Star was a mix of crooks and honest people. There were many experts from various realms. It was naturally much safer here. The second reason was to disrupt the situation. To disrupt Emperor Yu's plans. The transaction between Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor would allow the two superpowers to rise in power. Some things only the immortal realm had, some things only the demon realm had. The transaction between the two sides would be a win-win situation. However, disrupting the situation was not an easy matter. Qin Yu had to make sure everything was clear before making his move. Even when the time came, Qin Yu would still use his sword immortal puppet identity. How often does their transaction happen? Qin Yu asked again. The transaction, I'm not too sure, it seems to happen once every 3 years, but it is not fixed, sometimes once every 3 years, sometimes once every 4 years. This is only hearsay. Xian Emperor, Qing Emperor, or even the Demon Realm's Black Devil Emperor and Azura Devil Emperor all wanted to disrupt the transaction. Qin Yan muttered to himself. If we let Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor do as they please, the two sides' strength would naturally rise. Damn it, if they casually make a transaction, as long as they snatch it, the wealth would be at least 10 billion. The other immortal emperors and demon emperors are also secretly disrupting the situation. No, what do you mean by secretly? Qin Yan hurriedly said. Who in Blue Flame Star doesn't know? As long as one has a brain, they would be able to guess. But Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor's people place great importance on the transaction. There has not been any problems. Qin Yu understood, this was only Blue Flame Star's people's guess. But the possibility of it being true was still very high. Young Master Shi, why are you asking this? Could it be? Qin Yan thought of a possibility. This young master Shi was so generous. He was most likely the young master of a superclan. Such a superclan would definitely want to make a move. Qin Yan knew whether it was the immortal realm or the demon realm, other than the strongest Emperor Yu, Xian Emperor, Qing Emperor, Blood Devil Emperor. There were many other powerful forces, and the experts in those forces were not small. Be careful, trouble comes from careless talk. Qin Yu smiled. Qin Yan immediately laughed. Hee, just kidding. But Qin Yan thought to himself, who knows, this young Master Shi and his family might really make a move to snatch the goods. Qin Yan was just a small character. How would he dare to interfere in the matters of the big powers? He was just thinking about it. Qin Yu raised his cup and drank the wine. Boss Qin Yan, I'll have to trouble you with the matter of exchanging the top-grade elemental spirit stones. Qin Yu stood up. Warner, let's go back. Qin Yu said and removed the sound isolation restriction. Yes, young master. Wan'er quickly stood up and walked beside Qin Yu. Young Master Shi, take care. Qin Yan smiled and bowed slightly. Chapter 338. He stepped into his room in the restaurant. This room was extremely large. There were 3 rooms, a large hall and a parlor. Wan'er, go back to your room and rest. If there's nothing important, don't disturb me. Unless there's something important, then use your telepathy to remind me. Qin Yu said with a smile. He then pushed open the door and entered his room. Yes, young master. Warner bowed and pouted. Seeing that Qin Yu had entered his room, Warner muttered in a low voice. It's so rare for me to be chosen to serve Master. Who would have thought that Master would frequently enter his room to train? Truly boring. As she muttered, Warner also entered her room. Pulling open the curtains, Qin Yu looked down at the crowd below from the tall building. Occasionally, he could even see some domineering experts flying in the sky. Seeing everything before him, Qin Yu began to ponder in his heart like lightning. Emperor Yu more or less knows about my background. He will definitely search for me unceasingly. However, my current strength is still far from enough. I'm also too far away from Uncle Lan's request. Not to mention completely using the Jiang Lan's realm. I can't even open the first layer right now. Qin Yu flipped his hand and took out the little green pagoda. When you're able to completely use the Jiang Lan's realm, then you'll be able to meet Li Er. Uncle Lan's words were still faintly echoing in Qin Yu's ears. Qin Yu attempted to pour his power into the Jiang Lan's realm. Immediately, the Jiang Lan's realm emitted bursts of green light. The light gradually became brighter. Qin Yu's forehead also began to exude beads of sweat. After a while, Qin Yu gave up. Still not enough. It seems that I'm still too far away from reaching the strength of a level 5 or 6 golden immortal. Qin Yu flipped his hand and put away the Jiang Lan's realm. This Jiang Lan's realm was a test of one's strength and not one's attack power when combined with one's weapon. Qin Yu had to completely open the third layer of the Jiang Lan's realm in order to prove that he was qualified to meet Li Er. What level of strength did he have to reach? I don't know how long the road is. However, as long as there's hope, I will never give up. The light in Qin Yu's eyes was extremely resolute. His heart was as firm as a boulder and would not waver in the slightest. Qin Yu closed his eyes, and familiar figures appeared in his mind. Father and the others also don't know when they will be able to ascend. Qin Yu shook his head and smiled. I don't know how Xiao He and Fei are doing in the demon realm. It'll probably take some time before I can see them. The last thing that came to Qin Yu's mind was his only disciple, Lu Honshu. Regarding Honshu, Qin Yu was very fond of him. Perhaps it was a similar temperament, or perhaps it was the same sacrifice. But in any case, Lu Honshu's death made Qin Yu's heart ache. Maybe he was feeling better now, but whenever he recalled the scene of Lu Honshu's death, Qin Yu couldn't help but feel remorse, guilt, and anger. In this life, the only regret I have is her. Honshu's last words before his death, Qin Yu would never forget. A few days before his death, Honshu said that he fell in love with a girl. But this love would never have a result. Mysterious, Qin Yu, you only know how to act mysterious. If you had told your disciple everything earlier, told him that you have the Qin Yu immortal mansion, told him that you have the sword immortal puppet, told him that you have the 10,000 beasts atlas, how could this have happened? Qin Yu always believed that Honshu died because of him. Everything was because of him. Emperor Yu, although Honshu's death did not have much to do with you, it was still caused by your subordinates. I also owe that Anai immortal emperor a promise. Whether it's my relationship with that stupid disciple of mine or Anai immortal emperors, it all determined the same thing. Qin Yu's face was ice cold. His whole body disappeared into thin air from the room. On the bed, there was a tiny speck of dust that was transformed from the Qin Yu immortal mansion. Qin Yu entered it and started the 9 refinements of 3 souls. To Qin Yu, this was the fastest way to cultivate the soul. The soul was divided into 3 big spaces: the human soul, the earth soul, and the heaven soul. And now, Qin Yu finally stepped into the first level of the earth soul space. The mysterious hand seals in his hands were also different from the hand seals in the human soul space. Just as his hands formed the first hand seal, Qin Yu felt that his soul power was greatly consumed. But at the same time, a stream of energy flowed out from Lu Xing's tear and merged into the earth soul space of his soul. It was very obvious. Stepping into the earth soul space, Qin Yu's absorption of the special energy in Lu Xing's tear increased significantly. Times half a month later. In the living room of Qin Yu's house, one heir stood obediently to the side. Qin Yu had already sat down. "Boss Qing Yan, please have a seat." Qin Yu smiled indifferently. Qing Yan immediately sat opposite Qin Yu. His face was full of excitement. "Young Master Shi, I have contacted a big shot through some of my old friends. He is willing to exchange 100 pieces of top-grade elemental spirit stones with you. The condition is that young Master Shi has to provide 10,000 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. He does not need mid-grade and low-grade elemental spirit stones." "Oh, that's quite fast." Qin Yu smiled and nodded. "Very good, I agree to this." Qin Yu's total value of high-grade elemental spirit stones should be the highest. Because Qin Yu and the 10,000 Beasts Atlas army killed so many golden immortals, they mostly used high-grade elemental spirit stones for their cultivation. Therefore, most of their elemental spirit stones were high-grade elemental spirit stones. As for top-grade elemental spirit stones, these people would never use them. They would only use 1 or 2 pieces occasionally. As for mid-grade elemental spirit stones, they were too lazy to use them. I wonder when young Master Shi's 10,000 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones will be provided? Qing Yan asked with a smile. Qin Yu waved his hand, and a large pile of high-grade elemental spirit stones appeared in the living room. It took up almost a third of the living room. Such a large pile of high-grade elemental spirit stones. Qing Yan sucked in a breath of cold air. There are 10,500 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones here. You can help me exchange 10,000 pieces, and the remaining 500 pieces are yours. Qin Yu said casually. Previously, Qin Yu and Qing Yan had an agreement. For every top-grade elemental spirit stone exchanged, Qin Yu would give Qing Yan 5 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. Qing Yan tried his best to suppress his excitement. Heavens, 10,000 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones piled together. He had never seen such a pile before. "Young Master Shi, are you not afraid that I will run away with all this money?" Qing Yan looked at Qin Yu and probed. 10,000 pieces of high-grade elemental spirit stones. That was 100 million. 100 million, it was enough to make people go crazy. "You!" Qin Yu looked at Qing Yan. "Take the money according to your strength. If you take too much, it will burn your hands. There is a possibility that you will lose your life." Qin Yu raised his teacup and took a sip. Qing Yan clenched his fists a few times. "Qing Yan, stay awake, if you take that thing, you will lose your life." He repeated this to himself a few times, and finally he managed to stay awake. "Young Master Shi, rest assured, I will handle this matter beautifully," Qing Yan said confidently. "With Boss Qing Yan handling things, of course I am assured." Qin Yu changed the topic. "All right, Boss Qing Yan, that Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor's transaction, when will the next one be held?" Qing Yan pondered for a moment, looked at Qin Yu and laughed. "This I am not too sure about this, but there is one thing that I can tell young Master Shi. This Emperor Yu and the Blood Devil Emperor are both big shots. Their transactions are all open and above board. They will not be sneaky. When the time comes for the transaction, you will naturally know." Open and above board. Qin Yu thought for a while and understood. For such a huge transaction, they will definitely send out their own experts. So what if it's open and above board? Those who know the news do not have the strength to snatch it. And Qing Emperor, Xian Emperor, Black Devil Emperor and other powers would also receive the news even if Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor were to come secretly. Furthermore, Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor are both prideful. Why would they be sneaky? Young Master Shi, rest assured, a few days before the transaction, Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor will announce it to the outside world. Even the location of the transaction will be made public. But both sides have many experts. They are not afraid of others disrupting the transaction. Qing Yan said softly. Qin Yu's heart was filled with joy. This Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor are really arrogant, to actually announce the location of the transaction in advance. Young Master Shi, let me tell you, Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor's transaction, The experts they sent out are all powerful immortal emperors, and in the dark there are probably even more powerful experts who can snatch it successfully, Qing Yan said with a deep meaning. Qing Yan always felt that Shi Shuang was too mysterious. Who knows? He might be plotting against Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor. Qing Yan was only reminding Qin Yu now. To get involved in this mess, it is very difficult. You might even lose your life. Wait until the day of the transaction and the location of the transaction is announced. Then tell me immediately. Qin Yu said indifferently. I am very interested in this transaction. It's not a bad idea to go and take a look. Yes, young Master Shi. Qing Yan smiled, but in his heart he was suspicious. Just take a look. The days passed quickly. Not long after, Qing Yan successfully exchanged 100 top-grade elemental spirit stones to Qin Yu, and Qin Yu quietly cultivated for 3 months. In these 3 months, Qin Yu's soul had improved greatly. Times How Yu Restaurant's 2nd floor. Have you heard? His Majesty Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor's transaction will be held 7 days later at Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. When the time comes, you must go and take a look. On the previous day of the transaction, there were also people who tried to cause trouble, but unfortunately you didn't see it. You didn't see it, but I saw it. The person who tried to snatch the goods was very strong, at least of the immortal emperor level. That fight was very intense, and in the end, there were a few people who tried to take action. Some died and some escaped. 2 golden immortals chatted as they drank. Such discussions spread throughout Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. Because this news was not considered a secret, the immortals and experts of the Devil Realm did not care much about it. Similarly, Qin Yu had also heard of this news 2 days ago. At this moment, Qin Yu was also drinking wine by the window. Blue Fiery Cloud Inn, 7 days later. I wonder how many people will try to take action. Qin Yu thought to himself and drank the wine in his cup and looked towards the clouds. No matter what, I will definitely take action. One immediately poured wine for Qin Yu obediently. Times Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. This was a palace built in the clouds. The palace was divided into 3 levels, and was blue in color. The top was designed in the shape of a flame. Although the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn only had 3 levels, the area was very large, with a length and width of a few hundred meters. High up in the sky, above the huge clouds, there was a magnificent palace. Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. On the 3rd level of the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn, in an inconspicuous room, there were 2 people. One of them was dressed in green, carrying a long sword on his back, in the attire of a sword immortal. The other was dressed in a dark red robe, with a head full of snow-white hair, and eyes emitting an absolute chill. The green-robed sword immortal was the leader of the 18 immortal emperors under Emperor Yu. Green blood sword immortal Ji Bai. As a level 7 Xian immortal sword immortal. His strength was probably in the top 10 in the entire immortal realm. For such strength to appear in the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn, it was definitely shocking. Because even if it was to protect goods, it was not worth a level 7 Xian immortal appearing. The other cold man with the snow-white hair was also an incredible person. Blood Devil Emperor was undoubtedly the number 1 in the Blood Devil path, and the second was the legendary white-haired Blood Devil, Shui Lang. Similarly, he was a level 7 Devil Emperor expert. 2 super experts were gathered here. Both of them were cold people, but at this moment the 2 of them were smiling and chatting. If people who knew them knew that green blood sword immortal Ji Bai and white-haired blood devil Shui Lang were chatting and laughing like this, they would definitely be shocked. After all, these 2 people rarely smiled. Brother Ji Bai, how many years has it been since we last met? Hui Ling smiled. It's been 1,000,000 years. Green blood sword immortal Ji Bai had a smile on his face. I still remember the time when we went deep into the devil realm to fight. If not for you, I would have been killed long ago. Recalling that scene, I still feel my blood boiling. Shui Ling smiled coldly. That time I thought I was going to die. Who would have thought that when I was about to lose all hope, I would meet you, a fellow who was also being chased. I really didn't think that the 2 of us would survive. Ji Bai sighed. At that time I was only a level 9 golden immortal, and you were about the same. Along the way, I finally broke through and became a level 1 immortal emperor. At the same time, I killed a level 3 devil emperor, 2 level 1 devil emperors, and countless devil kings. The two of them were immersed in their memories. That year, when they were escaping for their lives, the desperation of the battle, they were constantly on the brink of death. How could they ever forget it? This also caused the two of them to become friends in life and death. For Emperor Yu to be able to establish a good relationship with Blood Devil Emperor, the two of them played a huge role. This time, the two of us are joining hands again, but I don't know how many experts the Black Devil Emperor, Azura Devil Emperor, Cyan Emperor, Xian Emperor, and the other powers will send. Will it be enough for us to kill? Shui Yiling laughed, and Ji Bai laughed as well. Chapter 339. Yiling, no matter how many people come, it won't be enough for us to kill, Ji Bai said with a smile. Shui Yiling was taken aback before he laughed out. Haha, that makes sense. Brother Ji Bai, back then when we fought together our coordination was almost perfect. I wonder how it's like now that so many years have passed. Coordination. Ji Bai smiled faintly. How many people in the immortal, devil and demon realm can make the two of us work together? Ji Bai's tone was very big. However, even if Emperor Yu and the others heard it, they would not doubt it. Because Ji Bai and Shui Yiling belonged to the category of profound immortals with fierce attacks and strong killing intent. They were both level 7 profound immortals. When Ji Bai had just stepped into the level 1 profound immortal realm, he had already killed a level 3 devil emperor in the devil realm. There was no need to doubt his attack power. Moreover, the two of them had a tacit understanding. This was something that Ji Bai and Shui Yiling had trained through countless life and death situations. That tacit understanding had already penetrated deep into their subconscious. Yes, with the two of us working together, even if the Black Devil Emperor came, he would not be able to do anything to us. I still remember the gift from the Black Devil Emperor that year. It's just that I still don't have the confidence to deal with him. Shui Yiling's eyes flashed with a cold light. That year, the people who chased after the two of them were the Black Devil Emperor's people. Ji Bai smiled faintly. You're still hung up on that? I've long forgotten. If not for the Black Devil Emperor's help, my understanding of the green blood sword arts would not be so deep. Forget it, let's not talk about this. Shui Yiling shook his head and smiled. Ji Bai, the deal between Emperor Yu and Our Majesty is obviously a trap to capture the enemy's experts. Only what kind of goods are in the deal? I'm not too sure about this. This time there are quite a lot of goods. In order to attract the enemy's experts, there are quite a few precious treasures in this deal. Ji Bai smiled faintly. You also know that for people of our level, other than treasures like divine weapons, other things are useless. Level 2 or 3 immortal emperors may still be obsessed with money. But level 6 or 7 immortal emperors do not care about such worldly things. They will think of ways to increase their attack power and increase their soul realm. To them, strength is the most important. So, in order to attract the experts this time there is a divine weapon. Ji Bai said. Oh. Divine weapon. Shui Yiling was shocked. Ji Bai smiled and nodded his head. If nothing unexpected happens, the Mystic Emperor, Cyan Emperor, and the other big shots would have already found out about this. They would definitely send experts over. Ji Bai, what if the Mystic Emperor, Azura Demon Emperor and other experts personally come? Shui Yiling suddenly asked. Personally? Ji Bai shook his head and said, what kind of status do they have? If they really disregard their status and come to steal a batch of goods, I will order them to immediately cancel the transaction. At the same time, they will bind the divine artifact with their blood and immediately leave. I believe that with my strength, although I can't defeat them, escaping with my life shouldn't be too much of a problem. Shui Yiling sighed and nodded. Yes, if such a situation really happens, we can only do so. Yiling, the probability of that happening is too low. What we need to do now is rest. On the day of the transaction, Countless people will gather at the blue fiery cloud inn, and we will prepare for a massacre. Ji Bai's eyes flashed with cruelty. Ji Bai, Emperor Yu's most terrifying killing machine. Shui Lang, the Blood Devil Path, was famous for killing people, and Shui Lang was one of the best. Two super experts who loved to kill joined hands. This time, Emperor Yu and the Blood Devil Emperor were really determined to kill the other powers until their hearts ached. After all, the previous few transactions had already caused these two giants to feel troubled. They wanted to kill the other party until they were afraid, so that they would never bother them again. Don't leave them any face. The more powerful they are, the more we must kill them. We must ensure that the future transactions are absolutely safe. This was Emperor Yu and the Blood Devil Emperor's clear orders. Time passed very slowly. Especially in anticipation, the days passed even slower. In this period of time, the number of experts gathered at the blue fiery cloud inn was increasing. Every time Emperor Yu and the Blood Devil Emperor traded, there would always be a fight and slaughter. This could already be considered as a special feature. The majority of the people came to watch the show, to watch experts of the immortal emperor level kill each other. Usually, when would they be able to see an immortal emperor in action? This kind of opportunity was hard to come by. The cold air was oppressive. Qin Yu opened the window and looked out at the endless night sky. This night he couldn't sleep at all. Tomorrow was the day of the transaction. Tomorrow I will make my move again. At that time, Emperor Yu will most likely guess that I am at the blue fiery cloud inn, and will probably have to escape again. Qin Yu laughed at himself. With regards to escaping, Qin Yu wasn't worried at all. Whether or not his identity would be exposed tomorrow depended on the development of the situation. If Yu Qingzi and Immortal Emperor Qian Qi weren't around, and he didn't use the 10,000 Beasts Atlas, the chances of his identity being exposed would be very low. After all, others wouldn't be familiar with him. Han Shu, Yu Qingzi and Immortal Emperor Qian Qi, your master will one day kill these two to avenge you. As for now, I will get some interest. Qin Yu said slowly in his heart. His gaze turned to the endless night sky. Qin Yu just stood there. The night passed and the sky gradually brightened. A star hung high in the sky. Today, there were many people flying in the sky above the blue fiery cloud inn. Many of them were flying towards the direction of the blue fiery cloud inn. Young Master Was stood outside the door. She had been looking at Qin Yu for the entire night. Qin Yu took a deep breath of the cool air and turned to look at Wan. Wan, today's matter is very dangerous. You don't have to appear. Return to the 10,000 Beasts Atlas for now. Yes, young master. Wan bowed. She already knew this would happen. With a thought, Wan returned to the second layer of the 10,000 Beasts Atlas. Qin Yu separated a body from his body. It was the Sword Immortal Puppet. His soul entered the Sword Immortal Puppet, and Qin Yu kept his original body in the 10,000 Beasts Atlas. To the current Qin Yu, the Sword Immortal Puppet's body was the safest. Once again changing the appearance of the Sword Immortal Puppet, Qin Yu disappeared from the window, and went into the depths of the clouds. So many people. Qin Yu noticed that within a few hundred meters of him, there were 4 to 5 experts flying towards the direction of the blue fiery cloud inn. Releasing his immortal awareness slightly, he discovered that a large number of experts were flying towards the inn at the same time. Brother, you're also going to the blue fiery cloud inn, right? A burly man with a chin full of green stubble flew to Qin Yu's side. I'm Lu Ba, a cultivator of the Black Devil Path in the Devil Realm. Qin Yu smiled faintly. You can call me Qin. I'm from the Silver Stream Galaxy. Silver Stream Galaxy, that's the territory of the immortals. Looks like Brother Qin is an immortal. Hee, I like to make friends. If Brother Qin doesn't mind, let's go to the blue fiery cloud inn together. Lu Ba was very friendly, and was very enthusiastic. Qin Yu smiled and nodded. The two of them continued on their journey. Their flying speed was not fast. After all, there was still some time before the trade fair began. Brother Qin, when we reach the blue fiery cloud inn, we have to hide far away. Lu Ba reminded. I've been to this trade fair twice. Once I almost lost my life. Involved the innocent? Qin Yu asked curiously. Lu Ba nodded, his heart still beating fast. Brother Qin, you haven't seen it before, right? This is my first time on the blue fiery cloud. Qin Yu said honestly. Lu Ba was obviously more experienced than Qin Yu. Brother Qin, you're stronger than me, but you shouldn't be at the level of an immortal emperor or a devil emperor, right? When it's time for the trade fair, those who really dare to rob and mess things up are usually at the level of an immortal emperor or a devil emperor. Brother Qin, you haven't seen it before, so you don't know. When experts of that level kill, even a strand of sword qi unintentionally is fatal to us. Lu Ba sighed. But sometimes even if you stay far away, it's useless. They will kill and fly. Who knows, they might fly to your side in an instant. The energy they emit will affect you and you'll be finished. Then why are you still here, Lu Ba? Qin Yu asked in return. Qin Yu could imagine everything that Lu Ba said. Experts at the level of an immortal emperor or a devil emperor would kill each other. He could imagine how terrifying the scene would be. After all, experts at the level of an immortal emperor could destroy an entire planet with one sword strike. Lu Ba said helplessly. Cultivating on my own is too slow. Watching experts at the level of an immortal emperor or a devil emperor kill each other can give me some insight. Also, it's rare to see an immortal emperor or a devil emperor kill each other. Qin Yu nodded. Experts at the level of immortal emperor or a devil emperor's understanding of heaven and earth was already at a very high level. It was even called a domain. When Qin Yu fought with Yu Qingzi, even though Qin Yu was very fast and launched a sneak attack without any regard for his life, Yu Qingzi was unable to block it. For some reason, Yu Qingzi was able to block Qin Yu's divine sword attack. Qin Yu attacked a few times, but his divine sword could not get close to his opponent's body. Qin Yu could see that Yu Qingzi's sword attack speed was not fast. Why was it that he was able to block it every time, and even send him flying? This was the profoundness of it all. Just that the current Qin Yu could not feel it. As they talked, the two finally saw the blue fiery cloud in the distance. Above the clouds, sunlight reflected off the blue fiery cloud making everyone feel the brightness of the blue fiery cloud Greetings, laughter, curses. All sorts of sounds came from the direction of the blue fiery cloud It was very noisy. Qin Yu could not help but frown. After flying for a while, Qin Yu saw that the clouds surrounding the blue fiery cloud were densely packed with people. There are at least a few 100,000 or even 1,000,000 people here. Lu Ba said with certainty. Over 1,000,000 is possible. Qin Yu looked at the sea of people above the clouds and said, there were too many people here. In fact, this was not much. After all, there were too many people in the immortal, devil and demon realm. Any galaxy could gather so many people. Even heavenly immortals, no Kongming stage cultivators are here. Lu Ba's gaze swept across and could not help but sigh. Qin Yu's gaze swept across and saw many heavenly immortals. There were even a few cultivators who had rushed over. These cultivators mostly followed their elders to watch. A cultivator watching an immortal emperor's battle. If there was an accident, it would be too late to escape. But for a cultivator to be able to watch an immortal emperor's battle, it was something to be proud of. Lu Ba, do we enter the blue fiery cloud or do we stay outside like so many people? Qin Yu asked. Lu Ba laughed. Brother Qin, enter the blue fiery cloud You must be joking. Look at how many people there are in the blue fiery cloud Qin Yu spread out his immortal sense. Just as it spread out, Qin Yu could not help but tremble. Experts, so many experts. Qin Yu immediately retracted his immortal sense. Just now, when he spread out his immortal sense, it did not attract the attention of those super experts. It was mainly because they sensed that the immortal sense was only of a level 2 golden immortal, so they did not pay much attention to it. They also thought that Qin Yu would not be able to discover them. Qin Yu pretended to casually glance to the left. Over 400 meters to the left stood a white-clothed woman and an earth-yellow-clothed man. The two of them were unremarkable in the large group of people. However, because of the meteoric tear, Qin Yu was able to sense that these two people were definitely stronger than Yu Qingzi. Immortal Emperor-level experts. Qin Yu glanced at a tall, thin, and indifferent man in front of him. Devil Emperor-level expert. Qin Yu could not be sure of the other party's strength, but he was sure that the other party was definitely a huge threat to him. And not far from the tall, thin, and indifferent man was a cool young man. An even more terrifying Devil Emperor-level expert. Qin Yu's heart trembled. God, it was rare to see an immortal emperor or a devil emperor. But today, he had only released a portion of his immortal sense. It did not even cover the entire area, but he had already discovered so many immortal emperors and devil emperors. No wonder so many people were gathered here. Most of them were probably here to admire the scene of the immortal emperors and devil emperors fighting. Big Brother Luoyu, fly steadily. A very clear voice rang out not far behind Qin Yu. Qin Yu could not help but turn back to look. He saw a dispirited young man flying leisurely. Beside him was a very cute girl with big eyes that were very attractive. Qin Yu saw this cute girl and had a good impression of her. Two more immortal emperor-level experts. Qin Yu was speechless. Even this dispirited young man and this cute girl were immortal emperor-level experts. Lu Ba, how many immortal emperors and devil emperors were there the last time? Qin Yu asked Lu Ba. Lu Ba replied excitedly. There were 4 immortal emperors and devil emperors. I have lived for so many years, but I have only seen immortal emperors and devil emperors in Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. I have never seen them anywhere else. Qin Yu was shocked. There were only 4 immortal emperors the last time. But this time, his immortal sense had only covered a portion of the area, and he had already discovered so many immortal emperors and devil emperors. This time, the transaction between Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor seems to be different from the previous ones. There are actually so many immortal emperor and devil emperor experts. Qin Yu looked at the sea of people around him and couldn't help but think of a scene. Once the fight started, how many of the millions of onlookers would be killed? Chapter 340. The clouds surrounding the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn were filled with people. There were people from the immortal realm, experts from the devil realm, and even some from the demon realm. In short, it was a mix of good and bad people. At the same time, it was extremely noisy. Trade. These onlookers did not care about that. The trade between Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor was just a matter of time. Who would be curious about that? Most of them were waiting for the big battle. Immortal emperors, devil emperors, these kind of emperor-level experts would fight and kill. Brother Qin, don't be anxious. Seeing Qin Yu looking around, Lu Ba laughed and said, "It's meaningless now. Let's wait patiently. As long as an immortal emperor or devil emperor expert makes a move, the whole place will be in chaos. All the experts will appear one after another." As he said that, Lu Ba actually sat cross-legged on a cloud. Although there were many people, the space in the air was limitless. Most people would stay 5 to 6 meters away from each other. Lu Ba, I'll sit down and wait too. Qin Yu smiled as he sat cross-legged on the cloud. He did not explain that he was looking around for the immortal emperors and devil emperors. Qin Yu and Lu Ba sat down. Not far behind Qin Yu, the slightly dispirited youth and the big-eyed girl also sat down cross-legged. Brother Luoyu, don't be rash this time. There are many experts in Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. The big-eyed girl said as she pulled on Brother Luoyu's shoulder. This Brother Luoyu was very handsome, but there was a hint of melancholy in the depths of his eyes. He looked slightly dispirited. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. This big Brother Luoyu spoke in a soft and gentle voice, but when he finished speaking, he glanced at the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. His eyes had a tinge of coldness. Yen'er blinked her big eyes and sighed helplessly. Suddenly, she saw Qin Yu from the side. Her eyes lit up and she flew over. "Hi, how are you? I'm Zhang Yan." This Yan, blinked her big eyes at Qin Yu. Qin Yu was slightly taken aback. "Brother Qin, you know this Miss Zhang Yan?" Lu Ba asked from the side. "No, this is the first time I've seen her," Qin Yu replied. He then looked at Zhang Yan and smiled. "Hello Miss Zhang Yan, have you seen me before?" Zhang Yan giggled and said, "No, I haven't seen you before. Today is the first time I've seen you. I thought you were pleasing to the eye, so I came to talk to you. Am I not welcome?" Qin Yu subconsciously liked this girl called Zhang Yan. He felt that this Zhang Yan's temperament was genuine and not pretentious. However, he knew that Zhang Yan and that brother Luo Yu were both immortal emperor-level experts and were much stronger than him. "Why wouldn't you welcome her? Miss Zhang Yan you?" Qin Yu pointed at the dispirited man. Zhang Yan turned around and cried out in shock. Then she immediately looked at Qin Yu apologetically and said, "I'm sorry, brother Luo Yu drank again. I'm going to accompany him. Let's talk again next time." With that, Zhang Yan flew to the side of brother Luo Yu. "Brother Luo Yu, didn't I tell you not to drink anymore? Drink all day, drink all day." Zhang Yan snatched the wine jug from the hands of brother Luo Yu. This brother Luo Yu only smiled indifferently and did not resist. Brother Luo Yu glanced at Qin Yu and then looked at Zhang Yan with a rare smile. "Yan, it's rare to see you greet people. Usually you don't care about men at all." Jun Luo Yu was puzzled. He knew how much his sister Zhang Yan disdained men. Don't talk about ordinary golden immortals. Even the immortal emperor-level experts that Jun Luo Yu knew, this Zhang Yan did not care at all. Of course, Zhang Yan had the ability to do so. Although Zhang Yan was only a level 1 mystic immortal, her cultivation technique was special and mysterious. Moreover, she had an extremely powerful master behind her. Zhang Yan, who did not care about men in the past, actually took the initiative to greet men today. This made Jun Luo Yu shocked. "Don't care about men? What are you saying? Haven't I always been following you?" Zhang Yan pouted. Jun Luo Yu smiled bitterly. Zhang Yan liked Jun Luo Yu and even wanted Jun Luo Yu to be her husband. Jun Luo Yu knew this. But Jun Luo Yu already had her in his heart, even if she was dead. Therefore, Jun Luo Yu only treated Zhang Yan as his sister. But Zhang Yan would never admit that she was Jun Luo Yu's sister. "Yan, my heart is already dead. Why do you have to?" Jun Luo Yu smiled bitterly. Zhang Yan had a powerful master behind her, and he was also a level 1 mystic immortal. Even immortal emperor experts would become Dao companions. Why do I have to suffer? As long as I'm by your side, I'm happy." Zhang Yan's face revealed a sweet smile. She actually did not care about Jun Luo Yu's heartlessness. Jun Luo Yu sighed. With a flip of his hand, another jug of wine poured into his mouth. "You're still drinking." Just as he took a sip, it was snatched away by Zhang Yan. Moreover, she stared at Jun Luo Yu with a fierce gaze. Jun Luo Yu was startled. Shortly after, he smiled faintly and sat cross-legged on the clouds. Zhang Yan looked at Qin Yu and wanted to fly over to Qin Yu to talk. But she frowned and stayed by Jun Luo Yu's side. Zhang Yan had a good impression of Qin Yu, but she was worried about her brother Luo Yu. Time passed. Almost all the experts were sitting on the clouds and waiting. To experts, waiting for a few hours was nothing. It was also a kind of tempering of the mind. "Lu Ba, when was the last time the immortal emperor and devil emperor killed each other?" Qin Yu asked Lu Ba. He had also noticed the conversation between Jun Luo Yu and Zhang Yan. He could more or less guess some things. Lu Ba looked at the sky and nodded. The last time was around noon. Now it's almost noon. Probably soon. Qin Yu looked up at the sun and did not say much. From the corner of his eyes, he noticed a few emperor-level experts. As for how many Emperor-level experts were around the blue fiery cloud inn, Qin Yu did not dare to be too arrogant. Those experts were all waiting quietly. They were not anxious at all. After a while, all the guests on the first floor of the blue fiery cloud inn, please leave. An earth-shattering voice reverberated across thousands of li. In an instant, the noise of over 1 million people disappeared. It was dead silent. Isn't there 3 floors in the blue fiery cloud inn? Last time, only the second and third floor were forbidden. Why is it that this time, even the first floor is forbidden? Lu Ba, who was familiar with the previous situations, muttered. Qin Yu frowned slightly. He looked at the middle-aged man standing at the highest point. Especially when he heard Lu Ba's muttering, Qin Yu had a strange feeling. It seemed like this transaction was different from the past. Immortal Emperor Ai Shao, don't tell me that the first floor is also forbidden. There may be a sneak attack on the second floor. But on the first floor there's a second floor in between. There shouldn't be much of a problem. A deep voice came from the first floor of the blue fiery cloud inn. Hearing that, it was obvious that the middle-aged man was Immortal Emperor Ai Shao. Immortal Emperor Ai Shao said indifferently, "Those who defy will be defying Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor. If you die, don't blame me for not warning you." With that, Immortal Emperor Ai Shao flew back to the third floor. Commotion broke out. The immortals and devil experts in the blue fiery cloud inn walked out one by one. Facing such a blatant threat, these experts knew when to advance and when to retreat. The transaction is about to begin, Jun Luo Yu said softly. His melancholy eyes began to focus. The decadent aura around him gradually disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by a faint aura of sharpness. With the blue fiery cloud inn as the epicenter, thousands of li of space became oppressive. Everyone quietened down. As long as one was not an idiot, one could feel that something big was about to happen. There are so many experts, I'm not in a hurry. Qin Yu glanced at the few Immortal Emperor and Devil Emperor experts not far away. He licked his lips lightly, his entire being calm. Times who? Strange sound rang out. Then, in an instant, with the blue fiery cloud inn as the epicenter, the entire area was in a state of absolute silence. Even the air seemed to have disappeared. Not good, Brother Qin, retreat quickly. Lu Ba says via holy sense. At the same time, he pulls Qin Yu and flies away at top speed. Qin Yu also flies away together with Lu Ba. Not only Lu Ba, but all the experts were also retreating from the blue fiery cloud inn. Show. An extremely thin beam of light descended from the sky, directly striking the top of the blue fiery cloud inn. Even Qin Yu, who was 100 li away from the inn, could clearly feel the air being pierced through by the lightning. Chi. Countless lightning bolts spread out with the blue fiery cloud inn as the epicenter. Streaks of lightning snaked through the air at an extremely fast speed. Those who were as weak as immortals would be incinerated the moment they came near. In a blink of an eye, over 10,000 spectators were killed. Someone actually dares to cause trouble for His Majesty's important matter. The person who caused trouble just now had better show yourself. How can you live up to your status with such cowardice? 6 figures stood at the top of the blue fiery cloud inn. Among the 6, there were 4 men and 2 women. The one who spoke just now was a middle-aged man. These 6 people belonged to Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor respectively. They were all Immortal Emperor and Devil Emperor experts. Emperor Yu's side had 3 Immortal Emperors. Zhou Yu Ai Shao, Duo Mi Blood Devil Emperor's side had 3 Devil Emperors. Pian Yi He and I Kawa. Duo Mi and He and I were females, while the other 4 were males. So what if I show myself? A dark and skinny old man suddenly appeared in the air. It's you. The leader of Emperor Yu's side, Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu, frowned slightly. Dao Brother Wuya, from what I know, you're focused on your cultivation. Why are you interfering in the transaction between His Majesty Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor? Immortal Emperor Wu Ya, also known as Immortal Emperor Crow, belonged to the category of an evil person. His cultivation wasn't high, only a level 3 Immortal Emperor. However, his array techniques were extremely powerful. This Immortal Emperor Wu Ya didn't belong to any side. He was a Lone Ranger. His appearance today had surprised Zhou Yu. I'm here because someone told me that there's a divine equipment in this transaction. Immortal Emperor Wu Ya's skinny old face had a trace of a smile. Divine equipment. The millions of spectators from afar widened their eyes and sucked in a breath of cold air. Divine equipment. Even if it was an immortal emperor, only the elites amongst the immortal emperors could obtain a divine equipment. Not only did they have to be strong, they also had to have good luck. Divine equipment. Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu smiled indifferently. Yes, there's a divine equipment in this transaction. If you want it, come at me. Immortal Emperor Wu Ya smiled mysteriously. But I suddenly don't want it anymore. Goodbye. After saying that, Immortal Emperor Wu Ya flew away with extreme speed. This caused countless spectators to be astonished. Immortal Emperor Wu Ya cursed in his heart. What level is the hidden expert? A level 6 Immortal Emperor or a level 7 Immortal Emperor? Just now, the hidden attack in my restriction was actually broken by him so easily. Times. This crow can be considered to know his place. I'll spare his life. Ling, take a look. This top-grade immortal equipment is really special. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai held an extremely small black nail in his hand. This small black nail looked ordinary. However, it was hidden in the lightning and struck down. This black nail combined with the power of the seal was enough to break the seal of the Blue Fiery Cloud Inn. The Blue Fiery Cloud Inn was jointly established by Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor. If it was broken, it would be a loss of face for the two giants. Hence, Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai had no choice but to take action. This also allowed Immortal Emperor Wu Ya to know the strength of the hidden expert. Towards Immortal Emperor Wu Ya, who did not belong to any faction, killing or not killing him made no difference. Someone's making a move. White Hair Blood Devil Xue Yiling suddenly said. Almost at the same time as Xue Yiling's words, an explosion sounded. Haha, hand over the item. Just the few of you and you want to stop me. Loud laughter accompanied the explosion. A tall and skinny figure was covered in flames. Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu and Devil Emperor Pian Yi's faces changed. Devil Emperor Lai Claw, a subordinate of Black Devil Emperor, a level 4 Devil Emperor expert. Devil Emperor Pian Yi transmitted to the surrounding people. Devil Emperor Lai Claw laughed coldly in his heart. The strongest of the two sides are around level 3 Devil Emperors. So what if there's someone in the dark? This time, with so many Emperor-level experts joining hands, how can you withstand it? Devil Emperor Lai Claw was very confident. Devil Emperor Lai Claw's long robe fluttered. The surging flames were like water from a dam, pouring out in torrents in all directions. Instantly, countless onlookers were frightened and ran for their lives. Devil Emperor Lai Claw raised his hands and pressed down. Immediately, the surrounding 10 li of space seemed to have stopped. Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu, Devil Emperor Pian Yi and the others all felt the space around them being imprisoned. Their speed dropped to an extreme level. The hidden expert is still not coming out. Then I'll force you out. Devil Emperor Lai Claw's hands suddenly turned into claws. At the same time, a red light seeped out from his skin, covering his fingers. Chapter 341. The reason why Demon Emperor Lai Claw was called Demon Emperor Lai Claw was because he had a set of extremely profound and powerful claw attacks. Die! Demon Emperor Lai Claw laughed strangely. His hands formed into claws and attacked the weakest Immortal Emperor Duomi, but Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu quickly rushed forward. Brother Pian Yi, let's go together. A voice sounded in Demon Emperor Pian Yi's mind. With Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu and Demon Emperor Pian Yi's understanding of heaven and earth, Although they could not break the other's domain with their own, they could at least minimize the effect of the other's domain. A series of explosions sounded in the air. Dozens of miles away, a circle of spectators formed. These people came from all over the immortal, devil and demon realm, and their cultivation levels were not high. They were trying their best to observe the battle. A battle between immortal and demon emperors. Ordinary immortals would not be able to see it in their entire lives. "Careful!" Someone shouted in panic. Whoosh! A claw-shaped energy spread out from the battlefield, and in a blink of an eye, it reached the crowd of spectators. Immediately, a large group of people ran away in panic. Explosive sounds rang out one after another. Just a single claw-shaped chi force had clawed several tens of people to death. Their corpses exploded, and their blood dyed the clouds red. The spectators could not help but retreat further away. If one wanted to see a battle between immortal and demon emperors, one should be prepared to die. "Brother Qin, let's retreat further, it's not safe here." Lu Ba saw dozens of people around him were pierced by the energy sword, and could not help but feel afraid. He hurriedly said to Qin Yu. Qin Yu replied, "Stand behind me, I'll guarantee your safety." Lu Ba was stunned and thought to himself, could this brother Qin be a super expert? Level 8 or 9 golden immortal. The energy attacks of immortal and demon emperors were only a threat to the weaker golden immortals and weaker. To level 8 or 9 golden immortals, it was nothing. Lu Ba silently stood behind Qin Yu. Times in the vicinity of the blue fiery cloud only Demon Emperor Lai Claw was fighting 1 against 2. It was just that Demon Emperor Lai Claw could only fight to a draw. Demon Emperor Lai Claw was getting anxious. "Damn it, Tongzi, why aren't you attacking?" "Boy." Demon Emperor Pian Yi and the others were shocked. He and I was the only female among the 3 demon emperors sent by the Blood Devil Emperor. At this moment, He-Ni's phoenix eyes were wide open as she stared at the dark green saber at her waist in disbelief. Slowly drawing out the Bai blade, the blade produced a chilling sound as it rubbed against He-Ni's body. Once the blade was drawn out, He-Ni's body fell. The person holding the jade blade was a cool young man. "Jade Blade Boy." Devil Emperor Pian Yi was shocked. Compared to Demon Emperor Lai Claw, Jade Blade Boy was even more terrifying. Jade Blade Boy was one of the 3 great emperors of the demon realm, Azura Demon Emperor's subordinate. His strength had even stepped into the realm of a 6th-level demon emperor. A single Jade Blade Boy could definitely kill all of these people. Jade Blade Boy grabbed He-Ni's spatial ring. "The divine artifact isn't inside." Jade Blade Boy frowned and looked at Demon Emperor Lai Claw. "Lai Claw, I'll remind you one last time. I don't like people calling me boy. You can call me Jade Blade Boy or Jade Blade Azura." Jade Blade Boy said indifferently to Demon Emperor Lai Claw, who was not far away. After speaking, Jade Blade Boy transformed into a jade green light and charged towards the other immortal emperors. "Haha! Jade Blade Boy, let me lend you a hand." Loud laughter rang out as another figure soared into the sky. "Humph, the people of the demon realm are full of nonsense. If you want to kill, then kill." Another cool middle-aged man broke through the sky. This was an extremely powerful immortal emperor. One expert after another arrived. Seeing this scene, Qin Yu could not help but smile. Looks like it's getting more and more interesting. This time, there are indeed more immortal emperors and demon emperors than I found. Qin Yu found 6 immortal emperors and demon emperors, including Demon Emperor Lai Claw, Jade Blade Boy, the white-clothed woman, the yellow-clothed man, Jun Luoyu and Jiang Yan. Suddenly, a white brilliance covered hundreds of li. At the same time, a yellow brilliance also spread out. The 2 brilliances began to intertwine and 2 figures appeared in the sky. It was the white-clothed woman and yellow-clothed man that Qin Yu found. "Xian Huang dual swords!" Exclamations rang out. The Xian Huang dual swords under Emperor Qing, one of the 3 immortal emperors. The husband and wife were both level 5 Xian emperors, but once they joined forces, They were definitely comparable to a level 6 Immortal Emperor. There was no need to talk about their strength. On Emperor Yu's side, there were only level 3 Xian Immortal Emperor Zhou Yu, Demon Emperor Pian Yi, and 3 other weaker Immortal Emperors and Demon Emperors. They were here to snatch the divine artifact. They came from various factions, but without a doubt, the weakest was a level 3 Immortal Emperor. The strongest was a level 6 Immortal Emperor like Jade Blade Boy. There were more than 8 of them. The strong and the weak were clear. There are so many experts today. Brother Ji Bai, do you think it's enough for us to kill? White hair poured down like a waterfall. A level 3 Immortal Emperor was directly swept by the white hair and died on the spot. White hair blood devil Shui Yiling killed an Immortal Emperor the moment he appeared. White hair blood devil. Jade Blade Boy's face also changed. In the Devil Realm, there were not many who could defeat Jade Blade Boy. On Blood Devil Emperor's side, only Blood Devil Emperor himself and White Hair Blood Devil made him feel unsure. Who would have thought that he would meet White Hair Blood Devil Shui Yiling today? Ji Bai. Xian Huang Dual Sword's husband and wife heard White Hair Blood Devil's words, and their faces also changed. There were many people called Ji Bai, but to be able to make White Hair Blood Devil Shui Yiling call him Ji Bai so affectionately, there was probably only Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai. Sword light flashed. Demon Emperor Lai Claw's eyes widened, and then his whole body fell down. After falling for a while, his whole body exploded with a hong sound. Not even his bones were left. Enough for us to kill. Barely enough. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai also appeared beside White Hair Blood Devil Shui Yiling. A level 7 Immortal Emperor. A level 7 Devil Emperor. 2 super experts who were similarly bloodthirsty. Once they appeared, everyone on the scene stopped fighting. A formless pressure began to spread, and even the over 1 million spectators 100 li away did not dare to make a sound. Jade Blade Boy, Xian Huang Dual Swords, 2 Immortal Emperors, and a Devil Emperor stood on the same side. Jade Blade Boy, I just found out that you were looking for a divine weapon. Let me tell you. This divine weapon is in my spatial ring. If you have the ability, come and take it. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai said indifferently. Jade Blade Boy held his jade blade, but did not say anything. It's a trap. The husband of the Xian Qing Dual Swords, Huang Yi, laughed bitterly. I didn't think that Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor would dare to be so ruthless, wanting to kill us in one fell swoop to intimidate everyone. Jade Blade Boy and the Xian Qing Dual Swords did not dare to act rashly. There were countless sword chi floating in the air. This was Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai's domain. If they acted rashly, the Green Blood Sword Immortal's fatal strike would appear. Moreover, other than the Green Blood Sword Immortal, there was also the equally terrifying White Hair Blood Devil Shui Yiling. Jade Blade Boy and the Xian Huang Dual Swords. Which one do you want? Shui Yiling looked at Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai. I. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai said indifferently. Jade Blade Boy. Then I'll take the Xian Huang Dual Swords. Shui Yiling sneered. In the eyes of these two, only Jade Blade Boy and the Xian Huang Dual Swords were a threat. As for the other 3 Immortal Emperors and Devil Emperors, killing them was just a matter of raising their hands. Times a trap, so it was a trap. Qin Yu had not made a move the entire time. His gaze was fixed on the green-blooded sword immortal and the white-haired blood devil in the distance. This Emperor Yu and the Blood Devil Emperor want to intimidate everyone once and for all so that the future transactions will be safe. Seeing this scene, Qin Yu completely understood Emperor Yu and Blood Devil Emperor's plan. Emperor Yu, this transaction was established with the help of Jade Sword School's Yu Dian. My foolish disciple's death, tracing back to the root cause, this Yu Dian. Since he helped you establish a relationship, then I'll destroy it. Qin Yu's sword immortal puppets 9 top-grade elemental holy stones were just exchanged. Just as Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai and White Hair Blood Devil Shui Lang were about to make a move, Poochie! A rusty long sword pierced through the abdomen of Blood Devil Emperor's Devil Emperor Carboxwell, directly piercing through his Yuanying. Hearing Devil Emperor Carboxwell's dying scream, everyone was stunned, and couldn't help but look over. Jun Luoyu, Green Blood Sword Immortal, was stunned. Genius Immortal Emperor Jun Luoyu, a legend of the immortal realm. Jun Luoyu cultivated from the immortal realm to the second-level mystic immortal realm, and the time he used was not even 1,000 years. In a few hundred years, he cultivated to the second-level immortal emperor realm. Genius. A genius among geniuses. Blood Devil Emperor's lackey, I must kill him, Jun Luoyu slowly said, his gaze fixed on white-hair Blood Devil Shui Lang. Jun Luoyu was only a second-level immortal emperor. The gap between him and Shui Lang was too big. But under Jun Luoyu's gaze, Shui Lang's face revealed a bitter smile. Luoyu, why do you have to do this? If you want to kill me, then do it, Jun Luoyu indifferently said. But whether you can kill me, that will depend on your ability. White-hair Blood Devil Shui Lang shook his head. All right, don't be so crazy, okay? If this goes on, no one will be able to protect you. I can bear with it, but His Majesty will kill you in a fit of anger. Don't talk to me about him. Jun Luoyu's eyes flashed with a trace of coldness. I won't kill him, but I will make him regret what he did. Luoyu, White-hair Blood Devil just said a few words. Suddenly, a violent white wave with a white-haired Blood Devil Shui Lang, as the center instantly engulfed the two immortal emperors and one devil emperor standing beside Jade Blade Boy. All that could be seen was a sea of red rolling within the white wave. In the blink of an eye, two immortal emperors and one devil emperor died on the spot. Who? Jade Blade Boy and the Xianhuang double swords were shocked, but they didn't dare to move, because Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai's immortal sense had completely locked onto them. Whether it was Jade Blade Boy or the Xianhuang double swords, they didn't have the confidence to block the Green Blood Sword Immortal's heaven-shocking sword. In terms of single attack, Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai was stronger than White-hair Blood Devil Shui Lang. In terms of group attack, Lang, you far surpass me. A level 4 Immortal Emperor, a level 3 Immortal Emperor and a level 3 Devil Emperor. Even if I wanted to kill them, it would take me a while. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai sighed. Ji Bai, don't say such things. If we were to fight, I would definitely lose to you, this I know. Shui Lang laughed coldly. With one sword heaven and earth split. Jun Luoyu, Genius Immortal Emperor. This is the first time I've seen you, but I've long heard of your great name. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai looked at Jun Luoyu, but halfway through his words, Jade Blade Boy and the Xianhuang double swords moved at the same time. Always south, always north. They did not teleport because the surrounding space was filled with endless sword chi. Teleporting at this time was simply courting death. They were waiting for an opportunity, waiting until now to suddenly escape. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai, who was talking to Jun Luoyu, turned cold. His hand holding the sword hilt on his back. Unsheathed the sword. The sword's shadow pierced through the air. A green sword light that was only a finger wide appeared in front of Jade Blade Boy as if it had teleported. Ah! A wild roar was heard. Jade Blade Boy's skin was covered with countless blood spots. His expression was incomparably malevolent. The jade blade in his hand fiercely blocked the attack. Poos! Fresh blood spurted out from Jade Blade Boy's mouth at the same time. The surface of his skin cracked open, blood flowing out. But no matter what, Jade Blade Boy blocked the attack. However, the same green sword light appeared in front of Jade Blade Boy. Green Blood Sword Immortal Ji Bai's face carried a mocking sneer. Even an ordinary level 7 Immortal Emperor would not be able to survive against him, let alone Jade Blade Boy. Blocking one attack was Jade Blade Boy's luck, but blocking two attacks, was it possible? Jade Blade Boy's heart was already filled with despair. Green Blood Sword Immortal is too strong. Jade Blade Boy gave up resisting in his heart. Quickly leave. A voice suddenly sounded in Jade Blade Boy's mind, only to see a youth directly blocking in front of Jade Blade Boy, using his own body to block the Green Blood Sword Immortal's attack. Thank you, Senior. Jade Blade Boy transmitted his thanks at the same time. He hurriedly fled. Qin Yu's body withstood the attack. His entire body was sent flying like Lu Xing. Qin Yu laughed in his heart. Senior? This jade blade boy actually called me senior. Qin Yu did not use the energy of the top-grade elemental spirit stone to counteract the impact. Instead, he allowed himself to be sent flying. Not good. Qin Yu felt his entire body instantly go numb. This was a feeling he had never felt before. When he carefully examined the sword immortal puppet's body, at the place where the sword light hit its back, there was a wound. Blood was dripping down. The inside of the sword immortal puppet was like a body of flesh. Only the Dantian had the 9-9 origin spirit formation. Qin Yu's mind went blank. The sword immortal puppet's body can be destroyed? Uncle Lon lied to me. You're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.